You've turned off.
Well, I'm turning it on now. It's being turned on now. Ta-da!
Oh, that's freaky. The first sound I heard was me complaining that you turned off desktop audio.
Yeah, well, there you go, you see.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
As you remember, in the last game, you had a situation where you found this strange, tight root ball that was almost like an egg in the way that it looked. And there were lots of animals around it, of all sorts, dangerous animals, huge animals, small animals, insects, and they were all in the vicinity of this thing. No animal was attacking any other animal, no animal was attacking you. And it was a very strange situation. And this root ball, which was maybe about 3 feet tall, shaped a bit like an egg, Bo DeSante touched it. What you didn't know was that Bo DeSante had very little choice.
You're doing what I do. DeSante's his first name. Montgomery is his surname. My fault. I kept doing it as well.
So, what is your character called?
It's DeSante, Bo Montgomery.
Okay, DeSante.
So it's Bo Montgomery if you're doing that.
So it was like a siren's call to him.
It was. I was not under my own control.
Oh boy.
So he touched it. And when he touched the root ball, there was a bit of an explosion. Everyone was knocked back. And then suddenly, in a region around it that was ever increasing, the roots started to spread out. They came up from the ground, and any animal that was touched started to change, to morph, if you will. And this went out for a long way, and a very thick forest was the result. But it wasn't really a forest. It was something else. It's hard to actually say what it is, so I did you a picture. As you can see, the roots are everywhere. The plants are, for the most part, either prehistoric or alien. The roots stretch into the sky. But one where you can actually see the sky, which is very difficult because it's quite dark, it's quite enclosed. But when you look up and when you can see the sky, you can see one thing dominates everything. This huge tree. It is ginormous. So when all of this happened, let us know what did you all think? What was your first plan of action?
I think one of the first ones was getting the hell away from it because it looked
run.
dangerous. We certainly all did run, or fly,
Eventually.
or attempt to, or drive.
Okay.
In character, I've got absolutely no reason to know anything about it.
I was gonna say, well, given my being, I would have gotten away from it as far as I can.
Yeah. And if you remember the leaves, you can see some of the smaller roots on the ground. But when I say smaller, those roots are probably up to your thigh. They would probably stand. Any one of those roots on the ground.
Alright, so those like the weird mushroom cap things in the middle. They're what you're basically saying is they're taller, if not as tall, if not as taller than us.
That preempts me a little bit. So basically, as you remember, everything, the roots sort of like stretched out, and they went for miles. I'm not going to go into how far this is spread because you'll need to examine and research that. But I thought I'll start by showing you a few things that I did, because I am going to start doing graphics again. I thought I'd start by making your characters. So going in the order of the videos at the bottom of the screen, we have Dahtay. Let's load him in. Very big, Dahtay. Well done.
That's quite cool. I like that.
Now all I've got to do is make it work. No,
I need to add the goatee to it
Go
later.
away.
Oh, you're resizing him. I'm smaller.
Yeah.
Oh, he has a shadow.
He does have a shadow, yeah. So we have Dahtay.
Just say Bo. I'm going to get the name wrong if you.
Oh,
say it
okay,
wrong.
sorry, Dahtay Bo. Oh, for goodness
Just say Bo. It's
sake.
easier.
Whatever next. Then we have Sephia.
I was privileged to see this one earlier.
Just wait for it to load in.
Quite big images, aren't
They are coming in quite big, aren't they? Actually, Sephia didn't come in that big.
Ooh,
Sephia.
cool.
Oops. Yeah. Then we have. Now this one took me quite a bit of time because I had to change, because they're actually based on 3D in 3D models, and I had to repaint this one, as you can imagine, because it is our good friend Wilson. Now Wilson's quite tall, because they do come out quite tall, so I'll make him taller than the rest. And I used, for your tattoo, you can't actually see it there, I used one with a snake and a dagger destroying a skull. And then of course we have Cinder in her human form. You see that?
Yep.
There we go.
That's quite accurate to
I
the
tried to
icon.
make them as accurate as I could to your pictures.
Well, then the
your
picture of hair
icons
parts
on
on
your
the other
character
side, but I
sheet.
don't think that's a biggie.
So, and then of course Cinder has a Draco form. Now the reason that I'm doing all of this is so that,
Definitely not to scale.
yeah, definitely not to scale. The
I
reason,
don't know. I mean, she is like a hatchling, so.
Yeah, but they're like size 7 to begin with.
now the reason that I am doing things like this is so that I can do things like this. If you hold on, I hope the screens aren't having any trouble. I can actually make
Takes a second or so to refresh. but
graphics that are more story based, because I can pose those 3D graphics and then print them out any way I choose, anytime I like. And I don't have to feel bad about it because I own them. They're mine. I made these. And so as you can see here, that's you in the forest. I don't know if you can see that. I hope you can.
It's like digital Barbie.
It's digital Barbie. I remember when you used to get them in comics. Okay, can you see that picture?
I can.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that gives you an idea of the forest, how it looks. And whoops, what did I do?
It's one of the bigger routes, that one, yeah, because obviously we're stood on it.
Yeah. You get an idea now what sizes things are, and you get the idea why the car was having problems driving anywhere. Okay, so there you go. You found that there were creatures in the forest that were huge. You found, at one point you saw a centipede on the ground that was just a little bit smaller than a train. So
we saw the frogmen as well, didn't we?
You have seen the frogmen. So at times it is safer to walk amongst the actual tubers. I don't know what you would call them really. They're still roots, I suppose.
Call them roots,
to walk on the roots. Okay. What is your plan of action now?
We're only about... We're just over 10 miles away from Castle Refuge, aren't we?
Correct.
Radio them about coalition troops?
We did. Just before you found out that they were monitoring the radio signals, and then I was like, but I've already sent the message.
But did you tell them they were actually coalition troops, though?
No, because we didn't know that at that point. We said they were using coalition call signs.
Right. They're definitely coalition troops. And I do not like having skellbots, and it's probably just a patrol. I mean, that's pretty standard operating procedure. Send out dog boys and skellbots into the wilderness to patrol. But that's awful close to Castle Refuge. I don't like that at all.
Cinder, can you get above this and see how far it goes?
Right.
Okay, Cinder. You're getting, you're starting to fly higher. What are you doing? What are you looking for particularly? And if you would probably make me a notice check, please, I would be very grateful.
I don't need
that
to
bit?
watch it. I'm playing Uber.
The system's reminding you to watch it.
Okay. It is very, very dark, this forest, because the roots literally they go up a mile or so.
Now, does my infravision help with that at all?
Did you get infravision? Did you?
That is, I believe that I come standard for a dragon.
Gets infravision, and she can take.
I could
low
take
light.
low light vision, but I come with infravision.
Infravision. So I'm taking infravision is you can spot living
Dragons
things.
have the penalties for dark lighting against living targets. Okay.
Right. Okay. When you look down as you're flying up, the strangest thing happens. You can see Bo, you can see Wilson, you can see Cephia. You know that there are animals on the ground, but not a one of them are showing up.
Ooh, spooky.
Now,
I think didn't we have the kids with us as well?
They are currently in Constance. I
Yeah,
believe.
they're in the MT. I keep saying the
Yeah,
MTV.
yeah.
Okay.
They're in the ATV.
Okay.
Which I'm heading back down to.
I'm assuming, I might be a bit stupid here, but I'm assuming that plants don't sharpen it on infravision. I'm pretty certain
Well,
they don't.
it depends on the type of plant or if the environment's... Essentially,
Yeah.
you're seeing with temperature, so
Cephia, of course, sees
differently.
everything. But
I
it
see
can-
a
it's
world on fire.
Yeah, it's a bit confusing to you though, because everything's got life, even things that you wouldn't expect to be radiating life in the same way. Everything is, so you're kind of getting, your senses are being overpowered. So it is easy for things to sneak by your vision because there is so much moving. Every single root, every single branch is a constant movement of energy, of life, of whatever.
I'm going to go back down. I'm going back down to Constance, and I'm going to basically rig up there'll be like a grapple line on the front. So if I get to a point where she can't go over something, it's a case of unravelling to drag over. So it's going to be slow going, but I should be able to get somewhere, but not quick.
Did you take a note of these roots? Did you take a note of just how big they are?
Exactly, that's why it becomes a drag off and drag over rather than drive.
Isn't Constance huge?
She's quite big. But she's all terrain, I don't know
I mean,
how
she's a
that comes out.
6 people carrier, isn't she?
At least, yes.
At least. So you're not going to be able to drag Constance over anything. I wouldn't have thought.
Oh, okay.
Pretty standard off-roading stuff, but okay.
It's not. Yeah, somebody said that the other day, but you're literally, these branches don't break.
Oh, no, I'm not trying to drive through them, I'm trying to drag over. So the idea is grapple something slightly higher up, and then the grapple pulls the car up onto a branch, and then drive along, tumble over the other side. But however long it takes, she'll be moving. But the main reason I'm going down to the vehicle now is to make sure I can radio the full information back to Castle Refuge.
Okay, I'm trying to picture this, and I'm trying to picture something that is supposed to be powerful and substantial enough to be able to drive through a lot of things like bushes and smaller trees even. I'm picturing something like that, and then I'm trying to picture someone trying to pull it up.
Well,
Up on top of something. It's like you're turning around. It's like you're turning around. And you're saying, "Oh well, I have this van. I'm now going to put some rappelling ropes down and pull this van up."
No, I'm not talking about pulling it up anywhere. I'm basically doing it as extra traction to allow it to get traction and then pull itself up onto the top of a route or beyond a route or just through. But I mean, if it's too difficult at the moment, we'll leave it. I need to get on the radio to more than anything else to get the information back to Castle Refuge.
Okay. Right. Yeah. You have got a big problem with the van, but it doesn't. You shouldn't. Don't assume that it's terrible and you've lost it and everything. It's just the situation as it stands at the moment. It's honestly the. Yeah. Okay. You've radioed back.
explain what we know about the situation so far.
Okay. What are you telling
Which
them?
is very
roughly?
little. We
Probably don't tell them it's our fault or
Yeah.
your fault.
that coalition troops encountered in the area. However, the arrival of this major biological appearance, well, I tell them, look to your, I think it was southeast. They'll probably see the tree and explain the actual extent of it goes for, well, we don't know the full extent yet, but a couple of miles around that point, there is a major plant-based infestation. I don't really. Bo doesn't know the words.
That's me.
Yeah. I'll describe roots thicker than a man is tall. Alien plants. Do not yet know if it's dangerous or not. There are denizens in the area. Things transformed during the appearance of the tree at the centre. Don't know if it's supernatural or not. Recommend they get some specialists out here to take a look. Be careful. We don't know anything about it yet.
So we've got this jungle that's sprung up instantaneously that we're stuck in the middle of for now.
Well, I'm sitting there just staring at things moving about beneath you.
Okay. Okay, I think we have a couple of priorities that we need to take care of first. We need to get the kids out of here.
Yep, need to get them to safety.
Because I don't know, I mean, I don't feel that threatened here, but...
You're a unique and
I'm not
beautiful
taking
snowflake.
chances.
Yes, the unique, beautiful snowflake.
Right, so we need to get... the kids need some kind of protection.
Correct.
Now, is them staying with you enough, Cinder, or do we need something else?
I don't think that it's good to be splitting my attentions, as it were.
Okay, right. There are two kids we've got, yeah? It's
Correct.
Lyra and...
Felon, I
That-
believe.
yeah. One of them's bigger than the other, aren't they?
Felon is is a good deal older, as I recall.
Okay, that answers one particular issue. In that Bo proceeds to take off his armoured jacket and gives it to Stellan. Right, if you want armour before, kid,
Thank you.
it's only a loan.
Okay. Thank you. Oh, no. Stellan's the boy, isn't he?
Yeah, not the
Yes.
little one. It wouldn't fit the little one.
She'd be swimming in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. I will look after it very well.
Right, I hope you do. Right, so it's basically I've given him a suit of Huntsman's light personal armour. It isn't, well, for one thing, it's not in his size, so it probably wouldn't be environmentally complete, even if it was, but it isn't. I'll take some time and some appropriate stuff in the back of Constance to strap him into it as close as possible, but it is about 3 sizes too big for him.
Okay.
But he's got some MDC protection.
Okay.
And Damn the heroic edge. I don't. So. Okay, guys. Looking at the little one now, we haven't got anything for you, have we?
No.
Okay then. Well, in that case, Cinder, do you mind if I look after Lyra? I think you're going to need to be maneuverable, yeah?
What about you?
Well, I can handle myself. And I'll get some rope and whatever. Lyra's only, was it 2 years old?
2 or 3, I can never really remember.
Okay. Young enough, she can quite happily go for a backie, yeah? She can have piggyback. But piggyback in a harness designed for her to sit in. Which I'll spend about 5-10 minutes MacGyvering.
Alright. So you've made her a harness. Cool.
Yeah.
That will be good. Don't fall over. Are you good at climbing?
Who was that directed to?
I suppose I should make it clear. It's directed to everybody because, as
No.
you can see, there's a lot of climbing to be had.
Well, if that comes under athletics, I think.
It is agility.
It's also the climbing skill.
Yeah, it is the climbing
Oh.
skill.
I know.
Well,
I don't have it either.
I don't have it.
Aha.
Guess
But
what?
I do have good agility, so there.
Well, it is a skill. You are going to be rolling on agility -2.
Well, you're actually rolling D4 minus
Actually,
2.
yeah, you're rolling D4
Minus 2.
-2.
Two. Yes.
Hang on, before we go anywhere, I'm double checking what the survival kit has in, because I'm sure it mentioned something about climbing.
Okay, that would be
It
good.
does have a
That would
climbing
be good.
kit. I don't know if you're going to say that gives a bonus or anything. It doesn't mention anything about bonuses. But it does have one climbing kit with 30 feet of lightweight cord, a pair of climbing gloves, 4 ceramic spikes, and a small mallet. I don't know. It doesn't list the mosquito head net in the rule book, but I love the idea that it's got one.
Uh,
I love it. It's got one survival knife, one
30
small hatchet,
feet of rope?
and one wooden cross. 30 feet of lightweight cord.
That's nothing.
I know. It's not a very good climbing kit. But I'm still unpacking
I
mine
do have
and...
climbing, by
Yeah.
the way.
Well, that's good. We can basically, if need be, if we get up high, we can do the whole tie ourselves to each other thing.
Okay.
Can I make a scavenging check to see if I've got more rope, in air quotes, in Constance?
If you look around you, you will see many, many vines hanging.
Oh, right, yeah, of course.
And they are very, very strong. Some of them can be cut.
I'll start survival check or some kind of repair.
No, just cut them.
Okay.
I believe your survival stuff comes with a knife.
Yeah, you've got enough. I've got a
So,
vibro
yeah.
sword as well. So
Yeah, yeah.
I'll
No,
start.
you're not go.
Wilson's good at doing that sort of stuff, yeah?
Idiot! Sorry.
Yeah.
So we'll proceed to knock together a couple of 100 feet of additional native rope.
Okay. So that's all very well and good.
Take any additional survival gear, ration-wise, out of Constance,
Yep.
and then lock her up, secure, with her internal radio giving off a bleep that I know the channel for to come back and find her.
Okay, good idea, good idea.
So yeah, we'll
A
get down to the
stiff,
ground.
a stiff breeze seems to rustle through the many plants and roots. And there's a sort of like a as the leaves rustle, things brush against things.
But that was a leaf noise, not a animal noise. Okay.
Dahtay, will you please make me a Right, where's language? Language is a knowledge skill. Can you make me a smarts roll, please? It's at -2 because it is a language.
In that case, 1.
You got a what? Natural 1?
No, I've got a 3. I've got smarts D10, but I've got no adds bonuses for anything language.
Okay.
I rolled a 3. Do you know what? We get bennies per session, aren't they?
They are indeed. Everybody starts off with 3, I believe.
Okay. Right, so I now get a roll, because I've got Elan, it counteracts that -2.
Okay, so what did you get?
Okay.
I
make
won't
it.
take it as a 1. or
Yeah,
anything.
it doesn't.
Roll
as the
again,
benny.
roll again. I'll let you roll again.
No, I rolled it and I didn't make it.
Okay.
I used the benny. Can't spend another one, can I?
You can keep spending them, I do believe. But
what?
considering the situation, you probably might want to hang on to it.
Cards. What cards do we get?
Well, if you
redone
look,
them.
you'll see.
You've redone them.
Yeah,
Hang on. Okay, almost unexpected insight, but it gives you a weak information on weaknesses of monsters. But at least I can use that one. I'll probably not use any of the other ones.
Okay.
No, I can't. It doesn't apply to this because it's knowing about their weaknesses and stuff. So I won't play that yet. I'll keep that for later.
Okay, it's worthwhile keeping for later, but it would have helped. You notice that many of the creatures seem to, well, I should say that this region quietens down. Everything sort of like seems to listen. And then,
Well, when that noise goes through.
yeah, everything goes quiet.
I think we should get moving.
I think it's
That would be wise, I believe.
I'll lay my hand on Constance's hood and just whisper, "Be back soon, baby. Be back soon."
Okay.
And then, okay, Wilson, lead on.
okay. We're
This
gonna move
is
on. Okay.
your party.
Yeah. Now, what I want you guys to do is stay together. About no more than 10 feet closer to one another. I'm going to be about 40 feet ahead, shouting ahead. Stay as quiet as you can.
Okay.
Understood.
And then I'm going to scout ahead.
Right, when you say scout ahead, are you talking about scouting on the forest floor? In the roots as you are in the picture? Or what?
Well, can I travel in a fairly straight line moving through on the roots?
Well, not in a straight line because they bend and undulate, but you could switch from one
Relatively
root
straight.
branch to another. Yeah.
Yeah. As long as I can stay in a relatively straight line and kind of pick out my way, I will. I wouldn't normally do this, but I will mark a path take a vibro sword and just knock, put a little knock so they can follow where I'm going.
Okay, so you do right. Okay.
But this
Please
basically,
make me a climbing roll for the first hour.
Okay.
Please. Remember that is if you don't have the climbing skill, that is a D4
do.
minus 2. Oh, excellent.
I think he's the only one that does.
Yeah.
For the rest of us, we need to know what climbing kit give us, if anything.
Climbing
to help.
kits give
Yes.
you.
Does it help?
I do not know.
That's what we're asking.
I'll let you look it up.
It doesn't say anything.
Okay, I would imagine it will give you a +1 or +2. Oh, sorry, you've made your roll, Wilson. Very well. Yeah, you managed to go through. You make me a spirit roll.
Me?
Yeah, make me a spirit roll.
Okay. Not my best stat.
Oh, I just had a thought. You might be able to feed it really easily.
Probably.
Oh yeah, that's very true. Actually, you can just literally, you can feed directly off of these roots.
Literally a vegetarian meal, though.
So yeah,
Probably tastes like crap.
no, actually, are you trying?
Actually, why not?
Yeah.
I mean, I did get. Well, why not? Many reasons. Yeah, probably not actually. I did get a raise. I mean, not a raise. Success on my spirit roll, and then to feed, I need to make a vigor roll.
Right. You're gonna get when you're feeding here. You're gonna get a bonus, somewhat like a ley line walker might. Well, a magic user might get on a ley line.
Okay.
We'll get. There aren't any other magic users amongst you, are there?
Well, no, Cinder's magically active, but no ability or spells.
No ability.
Psionically active, but that's all.
Well,
Okay.
for now.
Right.
What?
Okay. Right. I'll deal with that sort of part of this forest later.
I mean,
when
I-
you.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, Tamara.
Uh, I've lost my thought. I mean, I can detect Arcana, but that's
Yeah. Well, you could detect that there's a great deal of magic around you, pretty much as if you were on a ley line, really, to be blunt. If you have the ability to do that, you can. Wilson.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah.
Oh, this is euphoric. This is so nice. You have never tasted such quality stuff in your entire existence.
I'm gonna. Okay.
It is. Oh, it's like digging into a watermelon or whatever your most favourite thing is. It's absolutely amazing. And there is, you feel that you know, the thing about it is that you feel like you could drink to your full, and there's more than you could ever use up, because literally everything here, including the plants, are to a degree living.
Which is all information we need to log and take back with us.
Yeah, I'm gonna. That's weird because we're getting energy like a ley line, but it's not like ley line energy because I don't like that. Tastes bad.
Yeah, and this doesn't taste bad. Yeah, it's very strange because, yeah, if you break something off and it's not connected to anything, then it's got no life in it. But whilst you're, I mean, if you snack on a piece of one of the roots while it's not broken off from anything and it's still connected to whatever its source is, then yeah, it's like snacking on a living creature. And you're not harming it because you're nothing more than a gnat to it.
Right. Okay, I'm gonna go and well.
So you could fill up on whatever you need on that.
I think that was.
You broke off there a bit.
Oh, no, fine.
Okay, Jem.
Right, yes.
Sorry to retcon a bit. My bad. You know when you asked me to make a smarts roll earlier? I've got a -4 trait test modifier on my character sheet from last week that I hadn't removed.
Mhm.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
So
So you made it, did you?
I made it on the first roll with a 7. I didn't have to spend a penny.
Okay, so you can take that Benny back. The in that case,
I'll remember to remove
I'll
those
treat
each
it as
time.
if you did it again and you managed to listen in. When the next breeze comes through, which it does,
Sometime in that hour, yeah?
it says, it says, are you well? Are you well?
Sephia, did you say something?
Welcome.
No?
Cinder, did you say anything?
Mm-mm.
And did you hear that rustle?
Yes.
Right, okay. Now, I'm well aware that it was my own, I'm not going to say lack of judgment, but lack of self-control that brought this whole thing about. But I think it's talking to me. When that rustling went through, I just heard, "Are you well? Are you well? Welcome." Does that
Sephia slowly turns her head towards you.
is that sounding as weird to you as it is already sounding to me?
Quite.
Okay, I'm going to stand very still. Cinder, take Lyra for a second, please.
Done.
Okay, Sephir, just look at me real close. Is there anything weird?
Okay.
Particularly at the feet. Concentrate on the feet, just in case.
What's that? Sorry, what?
I want the Sephir to make sure there's nothing weird flowing in and out of me or anything.
Sephia.
Mm-hmm.
It's very difficult because it's like you've been, like when have you ever been in a disco where they've got all those really weird flashing lights going all the time? Your whole surround.
Sephia hasn't, but I have.
Yeah. Sephia's experiencing that while she's here, so it may give her somewhat of a headache later on, but she'll learn to zone it out after a while. He is radiating as if he were one of the things of this ecosystem. But you had to really concentrate to be able to see that.
No one else is.
Yeah, no one else is. It's true to say.
I am experiencing a lot of background noise, as it were, from this strange plant life. Some of it seems to be coming off of you.
Right, okay. Okay.
If you're saying anything, Steve, we can't hear you.
Oh, I'm not saying anything right now.
Cool.
I'm just thinking.
Right.
Actually,
then.
since I'm scouting ahead, I don't really know any of this is going on. So
Yeah. This is while we're waiting. Okay. Okay. Well, Cinder, I'm happy to continue to carry Lyra. I just wanted to make sure that we know everything that's going on. We don't understand this yet, but I get the feeling that I'm not in any trouble yet. And I don't think that Lyra will be.
Is anybody moving anywhere yet?
like I said, well, I'm moving. Like I said, I am moving forward. Trying to,
Yeah, you're not having any problem for the next hour anyway.
yeah. So
And then we'll start.
I'm trying to pick out the easiest path for them to climb on.
Very well.
Were we waiting for you to come back, or are we following straight after?
I would expect you to follow me.
Right. Okay. So soon after that whole situation, I've got my eyes and ears open, but we'll be following Wilson, I'm assuming.
Okay. Right.
Can
When
I suggest
you
that
start to follow?
before we move with the vines, if Cinder is conducive to it, I'm going to suggest that at least myself and Stellan are tethered to her on a 30-foot length. So if we do fall, I very much doubt we'll fall very far. 'Cause you are quite strong, aren't you, Cinder?
Just a little.
Yeah. I'm not sure if Cephia wants to be anchored as well, but
Wants to be no, but it's the smart thing to do. So
anchor Cephia as well. I suppose at the end of the day, you can go schnicked and de-anchor yourself at a free actions notice anyway.
yep.
Jolly good. Right, so will everybody please make a climbing roll.
Right, so
If you are not skilled, please remember that you are rolling a d4 minus 2.
you can click the unskilled roll on the top of the skills sheet as well. Are we getting bonuses for the climbing kit?
Yeah, I'll give you a +1 for that for now.
Okay.
Now, am I getting bonuses? I'm kind of viewing it as kind of a climb and fly.
You in many, yeah, you're going to have to make the roll too. Now, the only thing that I will say before anybody moves is that if Cinder falls,
Yeah, no, but she can fly.
you are all going to fall.
Yes.
Okay, fine, cool.
All right. Well, I have no climbing skill.
Yeah, Benny's right.
Well, it's up to you how you spend your bennies, but remember you're in a very alien environment, so you might want to save some for.
Does Cinder get any bonuses for having claws that she can dig into the wood?
Yeah, I mean, I've got claws.
Yeah, it's
and
compensated.
and-
Yeah, the claws are compensated by the size. If she falls, she falls.
No, but does the claws give her any bonuses?
No.
Okay. So it's D. It says she's at D4 minus 2 flat, or
6.
Let me think. No, actually, the claws will give you a +1.
so it's a D4 minus 1. Phew.
Okay. So for the next hour, Cinder is able to make it. Did anyone else roll yet?
I rolled.
Yeah, Will did.
I got a 4 on my
Minus-
wild die.
-2.
No, I think he's got the climbing skill.
Oh right, you've got climbing skill.
Well, there's a
beg
skill
your pardon.
modifier on that. So.
No, Cephia's unskilled, John. What are you talking about?
Oh no, it's already done the minus 2. Look at the roll. It's already done it in the roll. It's accounted for.
Am I looking at the wrong thing? Oh right, d4 minus 2 is 3.
Yeah.
How could d4 minus 2 be 3?
Probably because you rolled a 4 and got other. We've got bonuses from climbing kit, don't forget.
Okay, I don't see it showing that bonus there.
But it's the wild die, which looks like it rolled a 4 -2 with a +2.
Okay, whatever.
I rolled a 4.
That's weird. What? Hold on, what did it roll? I'm trying to work out what the wild die rolled here. 4 -2 plus 0 plus 2? Plus
Yeah, I don't know what the two numbers are, but they're other modifiers.
It's
It
apparently
auto-calculates
there's a
other
+2
modifiers.
going in there from somewhere. I don't understand that.
It might be the Jack of all trades modifier, but not a smarts roll, so that shouldn't be in there.
Okay, so what did you get?
But what's the bonus I'm getting for the climbing kit?
1.
Okay, so that's a 3 then.
Right, okay, so you failed it, yeah?
Yep.
Okay, fine. Bo, Desante, did you make...
I got a 4 on both my skill dice and my wild die.
Is that after...
That's after all modifiers. I've got -2 for being unskilled and +1 from the kit. So
Okay, I'm not seeing it showing the -1
-2.
in your roll.
So -2. I rolled a 4, then rolled a 1, give me a 5. -2 takes it to a 3, +1 from the climbing kit takes it back up to a 4.
Okay, yeah, I can see a -2. Okay, cool. So Cephia falls. Where? It's good to know where everybody is on this tied rope.
I'd be ahead with Lyra, tethered to Cinder.
Right.
So we're on separate ropes.
You're all right. Okay.
Separate ropes, each rope independently tied to Cinder.
Right. Okay. Cephia, you're hanging. It's quite painful because you do fall. A number of creatures sort of like go and make a lot of noise and what have you as you fall. Obviously, you make some noise yourself.
Is Cephia the sort of lady that would swear, or is she?
No, she's very controlled. So you would grunt maybe.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Make me a spirit roll to show willpower. If you have anything special that is going to give you this willpower bonus, then that would be good too. Okay. Yeah, you managed to keep it together. You managed to make it a bit of a ways on after about half an hour of travelling through the branches. You definitely feeling, everybody make a spirit roll.
See, that one we all make. Oh. Hang on. Got to make sure that I make mine by more than 1. Okay, yeah, I still had that +1 trait test, so I got 4s.
Wilson, you're
Yes.
absolutely certain you're being watched. Everyone else feels like they're being watched. Wilson, you are certain you're being watched, and you reckon you're probably being watched by multiple individuals. In fact, you're probably being followed closely.
Okay. I'm sure nobody else in the party's familiar with military hand signals.
Yeah, no, you got a radio.
Yeah.
Well, no, Sethia might be. She's trained. But I don't know if they'll be the same. I know that.
No.
Yeah, blind warrior woman hand signals probably not the best way to communicate.
Okay. Down and freeze. We're being watched.
Okay. Drop down carefully. Make sure Lyra's quiet as well.
I'm gonna focus my senses and try to see if there's anything out nearby that's out of the ordinary, more so than expected.
Your senses, you're picking up life and lots of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I'm overwhelmed, so...
If you concentrate for a long while, you may be able to pick something up. It's hard to say, really. Are you going to do a long concentrate?
If we have time, then I will.
Okay. Then in that case, you receive a +2 to well, it's more of a notice roll, and it's worthwhile. Well, no, you need to make a spirit roll before you do a notice roll. Wilson could definitely make a notice roll. Okay, yes, you're pretty certain that some of the movement is, you couldn't pick up on where it was coming from, Wilson. You're pretty certain that there is something watching you. You get the idea that it's probably in the higher branches, Cephia, because you think there's a lot of movement, but it's really hard to tell. Really hard to tell.
The branches above, I think.
I'll start looking in the direction that Zephyr is pointing.
Yeah, I'll look up there as well. Well, never mind. I couldn't see it. I'm too far away. 50, 60 feet ahead, which is...
Yes, it's... Well, to be quite honest, it's probably not going to stop you from noticing if you do. It's pretty much a very 3D surrounding you're in, because there's so much up and so much in every direction.
I take it even up. We haven't got like more than about 30-foot visibility because of foliage.
That is correct. Yes. Remember these tubers, roots. They go up miles. Literally miles.
Okay. As I said, draw my attention upwards towards where Cephia was pointing.
Mm-hmm.
Survival pack binoculars to see if it helps looking in that area.
Okay. I don't know what bonus binoculars give you. Let's assume, unless you know different, it's a +1. You can make a notice roll, John.
Okay.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay. You're looking at something in the branches.
Okay, I'll move very slowly. I'm not going to make it obvious. So I just want to take the time to examine whatever it is I'm looking at.
Okay. Let me try and...
Whisper over so that Sapphire and Cinder can hear. I think I can see something. And then I'll proceed to describe it once I know what it is.
Once it knows that it's been seen,
Oh, can I make a stealth check to make it less obvious?
You picked up binoculars, dude.
I suppose, yeah, good point. I'm not looking at you through these. It'd have to be a very, very good stealth check to make it less obvious, and I don't think I'm capable of doing that good a stealth check with a D4, even with a +2. Ooh.
What?
Right. Some kind of native bird woman.
Tengu.
Could very well be a Tengu. Not that my character knows what a Tengu is, but
Ditto.
No, neither does mine. But
And some kind of native bird woman. Obviously female.
what you do here? Who are you?
And she's talking. I'll put the binoculars away. We were just passing through. We were caught up in the middle of all this.
Why you come to Muta? Driving with your big creature through Muta, making lots of noise, scaring creatures.
Okay, we can only apologize about that. When we arrived, Muta, is that mother?
Muta.
Muta was not here. We were caught up.
What do you mean Muta was not here? Muta has been here for 1,000 generations.
Okay, Sapphire, I think we know this thing hasn't grown. It's come from someplace else. Either
Now
that
you
or-
saw it grow.
I know, but I'm assuming just how long is your? Yeah, okay. We've got a bit of confusion here. Fine. She's been here a long time. We can only apologize. The big loud thing I'd quite like to get out of Muta as well, but it's more important that the young ones that we're carrying are taken to their home first.
Young ones? What are your young ones?
Point to Lyra on my back and gesture to Stella.
You come with young ones? Where are your protectors?
We are.
She looks at you. Puts her head from side
I'll
to side.
point at Cinder.
She looks at Cinder.
Sir, I've been impolite. I'm Bo. This is Sephia. Just remember, this is Lyra. That's Stellan. And the reptilian individual is Cinder. Our friend scouting on ahead is Wilson. What's your name?
My name? I'm for the name for this character.
of course.
I made her. I didn't think of a name for her. Jelani.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Jelani.
What? Why? What do you do with your big thing down there? You not leave it here.
It's difficult to move at the moment. I hope to return soon.
No
and
life
recover
in
her.
it. It is a dead thing.
It's what we call a vehicle.
It is a dead thing.
It's an ATV. It's an all-terrain vehicle. I drive her.
Like a boil on Muta.
Then I think it's a good idea to get her moved. And rest assured I will come back as quickly as I can, but we have to get our young charges to safety first.
You come with me. I take you to Muta. Muta did you.
Does Muta talk to you?
Muta does not talk.
Okay. You know when the wind comes through this place and all the leaves rustle?
That is the voice of Muta.
Right. Yeah. Do
But-
you understand what that means? Does she talk to you through that?
The wise men and the wise woman, they sometimes can get feeling of what Muta want.
Okay. Cinder, obviously it's your call on this, but I think this might get us out of here more quickly.
Only Muta, these are Muta's songs of great gratitude to Dahtay.
Dahtay.
Muta and Dahtay. You do not know of Muta and Dahtay?
No. Guys, should I introduce myself properly? I'm looking for some guidance here because I don't know if I should.
Properly?
Yeah, well, pardon me. I need to talk to my companions briefly.
What you want me to do?
Just if you could take a few steps back. I
I
need
will
to
not take steps back. I do not trust you.
Okay. I'll turn in very, very quickly. I think we might be caught up in some kind of Genesis mythology. I think I'm Dahtay. Well, Dahtay, Desante, it's... I've read a couple of old comic books like this where these things happen.
Not the strangest thing that's happened in the last few days.
No. Hopefully, I mean, the particular comic I'm thinking of, there's a big golden guy, and they think he's a god because he can float.
Forgive me, what exactly are you saying?
I
I
think
do not
that
understand these words.
Sapphire. I think that when I think that when I touched the egg, something catalyzed, something happened, and it caused for this to grow. I think Muta, or mother, is the egg, and I think Dahtay, or Desante, myself, I think inadvertently I'm the second hearth of some kind of creation myth. And I mean, I can't understand how she thinks it's been here generations, but obviously these things grew and grew with a history. But all we need to think of now is, right, I'm not going to say anything to her because it will destroy her entire belief system, and I'm not up for doing that. But, Cinder, should we go with her and assume that she can get us out of here more quickly, and that Lyra and Stellan will be safer in that respect? Or do we come back later?
I don't see any other way.
Okay. And I've already forgotten her name.
Jelani.
Lonnie.
Yeah, Jelani. Okay, take us to see your tribe. Muta.
I will take you to Muta now, but you must not be noisy and make dead things like pustules.
Okay, I can only apologize for Constance's presence. I'll move her as quickly as I can.
You should know that things in Muta that are not good, Dahtay will come and deal with them.
I'm sure he will. Huge grin on his face. This is going to be horrible if I've misinterpreted this, because we'll find out that Dahtay isn't actually anything to do with us. But anyway. Okay, lead on. Bear in mind that we are not as nimble in this environment as you are, so please choose an easy path.
When she finishes talking to you, that wind comes through the trees again, and she goes, "Oh,
I'm
She
listening
looks
really
round.
hard. I'm listening really hard.
Okay, she looks around and listens. Muta speaks much today.
Do I understand it, or do I have to roll again?
It says, welcome, welcome. Come to see me. I long to see you.
I want to try and let you guys know what that is without scaring Jelani. So I'll wait for her to be ahead, and I'll
She's
say,
not being ahead, she's keeping an eagle eye on you, to say the least.
well, in that case then
Ba-dum-bum-bum.
I will activate my radio and just try to, as quietly as possible, like sub-vocally, sort of whisper into the radio. The wind said, welcome, welcome, come and see me. I am longing to see you. Just so you know, I think that I'm expected. Hey, I'll do my best to make sure the natives don't
Why
eat you.
should you be expected?
Because of the dead thing I brought. I have to make sure it's taken out of Muta quickly.
The many tribes will deal with you, and you will make your supplication to them.
We saw the frogs. The half men, half frogs.
Half men, half... What you talking?
I do not know what you call them, but they fled when we fought the enemies of Muta.
Oh,
The dead skeleton things and their canine handler.
why is Lily making that? Anyway, what you...
It happened
The,
many generations ago.
The skull people?
Yes, we killed 3 of them.
They are back?
We haven't seen them yet, but they certainly were here
The skull
yesterday.
people the skull people were wiped out by Dahtay thousands of years ago, in the beginning. The
dear.
skull people are back?
We are here to make sure they do not return, or if they do,
The tribes must know. The tribes must know. They are a great danger.
well, there are enemies as well.
Come, come. She starts to pick her way around what's a fairly safe route. It's as good a route as you would have chosen, Wilson, to be honest. And you and her together are able to find your way. It takes you the better part of 2 days.
We're only 10 miles away from home.
She knows, however, how to listen, when to stop, when to start, when to rest, where to rest, which is something that you would not have known, I suppose.
Is there any chance at any point to see the sky?
You do see the sky, yes, it is the normal sky.
That's what I wanted to know. It's the normal sky.
You're not somewhere else.
I had a horrible feeling that that we were just going to find out that the passage of time had been going stupidly fast.
Well, looking at the sky won't tell you whether that has or hasn't.
Well, it will if the sun's doing that.
Oh, no. When you get to Muta,
Is she taking us to the big tree?
it's a huge, giant tree. The best way I can describe it is, for want of a better word, if you could think of Avatar, the film. Did anybody see that?
I think most people probably did.
I did not.
You didn't?
Really?
Oh.
Nope.
Have you seen... I'm trying to think where else has had a
I
big
don't think
tree in
there's
it.
anything else like
Fern
Avatar.
Gully? No.
No. Ferngully's sort of like it, but it's only huge because everything in it's small.
It's basically It basically it's like it's not unlike a millennium tree, but people aren't living in pods that hang off of it. They're living in its branches, and its roots lift up. If you
Just research for Avatar Big Tree on Google. I'm sure you'll get
no,
a
I
number
don't
of
want to use the
images.
Avatar pictures because
No,
it's
take-
not Avatar.
Rob can.
Um,
We don't have to.
There are many half animal, half human creatures. You think of any mix of animal you like or insect, there are creatures there. And she sort of like, before you get in amongst its branches and roots, she turns around to you and she stops you. She says, "This place is peace. None may bring their troubles here. Do you understand?
Okay.
Do you understand, strangers?"
No trouble.
No trouble at all.
This place is peace. Here, tribes can come and none will war.
That certainly matches what we first encountered.
When you get in amongst the trees, you are encountered by an awful lot of other creatures. Most of them, it's true to say, are in a state of bliss is a good way of describing it, but there are also around the edges guard creatures, if you like, that are obviously there to make sure that this peace is maintained. So you know that if there's trouble, there'll be a lot of individuals who can deal with it. You get taken to a small clearing with some old half people, half creatures sitting in a circle. I bring strangers. They come. They brought a dead thing in amongst the roots of Muta. Muta has spoken much around them. It is an omen. They all look to you as if they're waiting for you to say something.
We thank you for your kind welcome. We apologize for bringing the dead thing to the heart of Muta. It was not something we had wished to do, and it is my wish to remove it from Muta as quickly as is possible.
Is anybody else saying anything?
No, I'm just like, I'm not going to cause any problems.
No, but just as a side note, I would have changed into my human form to be less
Very
frightening.
well. Very well. No problem.
We would do what is needed to apologize, and the dead thing, I call her Constance, needs to be removed. But Muta's roots are making that difficult, and I would like to do it with as little disturbance as possible.
One of the things that you notice is that there are giant creatures here, as well as size is very relative. There are very big creatures. There's creatures bigger than Cinder here,
Okay.
as well as, somewhat smaller. Creatures as big as the palm of your hands, and creatures, huge.
Jelani told us that the skull-faced ones are your enemy. And
The skull-faced ones are from the deep, deep history. They have not been seen
Well,
in 1,000 years.
they are our enemies too.
But you say, an old man starts with, why do you bring the skull-faced ones?
By what means do you measure time, old one?
Generations.
How long is your lifespan?
A normal lifespan.
How many summers do you know?
How many summers? I know. I am 72 years old of age.
I cannot explain this, but it would seem that there has been some... I might need help to explain this, guys, but some disturbance to time.
Disturbance to time? What
That
do
or-
you mean?
Say that again?
Either that or we're de-shifting.
We could be. From where we come from, we fought the skeletal-faced ones yesterday.
In Muta?
Muta was growing when this happened.
Muta was growing. And that is impossible. Well, Muta is always growing. What do you mean?
Well,
Only
old one, I would...
Muta does not extend anymore for Dahtay for Beta
Okay.
from taking over the world.
Okay, old man, old one. Could I ask that only you and your most trusted remain in this chamber?
Why so?
Because I have words which need to be listened to with wisdom that comes with age. And there is potential for them to disturb the younger of mind.
You may.
I'm really
Speak.
leveraging knowledge diplomacy here, knowledge politics.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Actually, let's do that. Right. So basically, you're trying to get them to let you speak in private to the oldest of their number,
Yes.
there are some of them that don't want this to happen because you are strangers.
I need to
blah,
assure
blah,
them
and you want the
entirely.
dead thing. So you can make me please a
Persuasion?
make me a persuasion roll, limited by your knowledge. It's the lowest of your persuasion and knowledge, because you have to have
Well,
some
knowledge politics gives bonuses to my persuasion.
knowledge politics give.
Gave me a
okay,
plus
well,
2 bonus to my
I'll let you
persuasion.
have that then. Go on then.
Okay. Do I get any minuses?
Yeah, you don't know their people, so I'm going to give you a -2.
Okay.
By the way you've been rolling this evening.
Well, off of persuasion, it's going to be ridiculous. So. And no, another guy just popped up on my screen
Only just.
because I just switched the screen back.
Alright.
Okay, I got a 9.
Yeah, okay, fine. So you argue that they should, that you have something very, very secretive to tell them, and at the end of the day they want to know it, so that they usher out half the people. Very upset they are, but they leave. And it's just you lot and some of the oldest of their number, the true elders of some of the leading tribes.
I have asked the oldest among you to stay because I hope that in your history there may be some fragment of truth known only to you that will resonate with what I'm about to tell you. You have never seen our kind before, am I correct?
We've seen your kind before.
Okay.
Not their kind,
Okay.
but your kind. This guy is like part, the guy that's speaking now is he's part snake, part human.
Okay.
And he turns around and says that some of the children that are born fully looking like you, and some
Okay.
fully looking like
In the beginning,
a creature.
in the beginning, when Muta was born, she was small. Muta was born, she was small. She was a tangle of roots. But the animals of the region gathered to her. They were called to her by a siren's call. And at that point...
You speak about the ancient
Dahtay.
history. Every child knows this.
Yes, but we wouldn't. Dahtay was called. And Dahtay touched Muta. And in that their spirits mingled and Muta grew. And the peoples were made.
This is wasting our time. We teach the children such things.
Yes, but
everyone knows the ancient tale
what
of
if I
Muta
told
and
you?
Dahtay.
What if I told you, and keep an open mind on this, that this only occurred, as we see it, yesterday?
Everybody's laughing.
And I can
This
hear
is why you call the
Muta.
secret council? What did you say?
And I can hear what Muta says.
At that, they
Because
stop laughing and seem a little...
my name is Desante Bo Montgomery. Desante.
That doesn't mean anything to
Dahtay.
them. Is anybody saying anything at this point?
Oh, I wouldn't have led with that.
I know, but
Not that,
Muta called.
Anybody saying anything whilst this is going on? Or?
no,
Yeah.
I'm just kind of like, oh man.
Muta called to
We're gonna-
me, and I came to her.
You are claiming to be Dahtay?
Maybe an aspect.
Some of them stand up now, because you're talking about their father deity here.
Which is why
And
I
you're
asked for
claiming
just
to
the
be
oldest
their
ones who
father
were most
deity.
open to
That,
that.
and some of them
The
are
conservative
shouting.
fundamentalists?
Some of them. Sorry, what?
You mean the conservative fundamentalists?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I was hoping
yeah,
the other way
yeah.
around. I was hoping the ones that would have
If
maybe remembered
this
it.
was not a place of peace, you would be slain where you stand.
But you are a people of peace. You do not do that.
We are a people. This place is of peace. And here you defile the name of Dahtay
No, I do not.
and of Muta.
I do not. She called to me. She still speaks to me.
If you are Dahtay, then prove it.
Okay. The rustling noises that you hear? Jelani told me that some of you feel the feelings and emotions of Muta at those times.
We have scribes and readers.
Well, the 2 times that she has spoken today, I heard it and I understood what she was saying. I
Are
can't
you
explain
sure you are
why.
not of the fox, of the Foxumera?
Well, do I look like one of those? Because I've never met one.
They are tricksters, one and all.
Well, all I wish to do is to leave here with Constance, with doing as little damage to your way of life and the physical structure of Muta as possible. I knew what I was going to say to you was controversial, which is why I did not wish everybody to hear it.
You will be imprisoned.
Really?
You have defiled Muta and Dahtay.
I'll look up at the tree. Are you going to allow them to get confused like this?
Okay. He looks up and he... Is anybody saying anything in the meantime, by the way?
I'm just like, well, there's no reason to talk about flaying people alive.
How would you have him prove it?
Because it's not going to end well for anybody.
Yeah.
So,
Cephia said, how would you have him prove it?
we are not the ones claiming to be Dahtay. If he is Dahtay, then he is a great being. Let him find a way to prove it.
I'm not saying I am him. I'm saying, okay, I won't say anything further on that
A
matter.
stiff breeze runs through the encampment and everybody goes, ooh. And what you hear, John, is, calm, children, calm.
Calm, children, calm. Those are the words of Muta.
Do not be angry with your children. They do not understand.
Do not be angry with your children. They do not understand.
I think that was aimed at you.
I know it was, but for total clarity,
Total clarity, right?
I'm basically pointing out it's all about absolute transparency in the process.
You will be imprisoned for the rest of your natural life.
Muta took something from me and turned it into Dahtay. That fragment of me was increased and became what you know. It is not me.
What are you saying is not you?
Basically, I'm saying I'm not claiming to be Dahtay. I'm saying a part of me was taken
You're
by...
saying that you created Dahtay. Datay's just a part of you.
No,
Gets worse.
that Muta did. That Muta did. She took a seed from me and from that created Dahtay.
Everybody knows the tale. Muta and Dahtay came together
Yes.
and shared their spirits, and from their spirits, the children of Muta and Dahtay came to life and came to be. And for 1,000 generations,
Right, can't
we have
explain that.
we have lived in the bosom of Muta, and Dahtay has wandered amongst the roots of Muta ever since.
Yes, we have been stuck here, trying to get out, since yesterday.
It has been a strange week.
You have... What are you talking about? Are you all mad?
Beyond the boundaries of Muta's forest, you will find peoples who will tell you that 2 days ago, she was not here.
Muta was not here 2 days. Oh, they are putting their hands over their ears now.
I said beyond the boundaries of this forest.
They
Within Muta's reach, obviously a different reality holds sway. They are both right. But you must accept that there are people beyond that do not necessarily have the same perspective that you do.
they can't. They're really not taking this very well at the moment.
I don't know any other way to deal with it, but...
No. Anybody else gonna say anything? Both.
I would just look over at Sephi and go like, every time I open my mouth, and when we were doing this before, I got myself into trouble.
Yes. No idea what to say.
No.
Bind them. Bind them.
Our only concern is to get the young ones to safety. That is what we were doing when Jelani found us. We
Basically-
agreed to come here because we thought it would be easier for you to assist us in getting them to safety.
Basically, they're pushing you into this cage thing, which is obviously where they put people. It's like a prison, in part of it. But obviously, this thing can be lifted up by the looks of it, on pulleys. Are you entering it?
Sure.
Not
Okay.
resisting.
Okay. As you,
Could we go into a bigger cage?
it's big. It's big.
Okay.
It's big.
I'm just hoping if we're here longer than 6 hours, that there's space for certain people to.
Is it just a wooden cage? Yeah.
It is made of the. It's made of the wood, but it's very, very strong wood. It might as well be adamantine.
Remember the wood
Okay.
that you tried to
Yeah,
cut through?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah. I'm intrigued to find out if they have any other myths that unerringly. There is the myth of the swift one who attempted to get out of the roots and was unable to cut them. And that sort of thing. I'm interested to get like comparative mythology.
Oh,
on
well,
there.
yes. Sometime in the future you'll be able to look into all of this.
What would you have me do? I have attempted to be truthful with you. I have not, in any way, as far as I see, deceived you.
You will stay. You will be in prison for the rest of your lives. We will put you in a remote place.
I doubt very much that will happen.
As they're saying that, literally the cage that you're in crumbles.
I'll step out of the ruins. As I said, I very much doubt that will be the case.
They seem utterly shocked that this cage crumbled.
Your beliefs are true and correct. But there is a wider world which has other things that cannot be explained. This, pointing at the crumbled cage, I suspect is her will.
As you are all standing there, little flowers spring up around your feet. You're in a circle, but you're in a circle of beautiful little blue flowers.
I do not claim to be able to tell you what Muta thinks, but she favors
Ah,
us.
they're pretty shocked, and they don't want to imprison you anymore, but they don't know quite how to take you now, because what's just happened effectively is a miracle.
Okay. I'm trying to think of a different way to spin it now. I must
Responsibility.
I must apologize.
What's that?
I say claim responsibility.
Yeah, I'm going to do something similar to that.
You know, when
Right.
somebody asks you if you're God.
Yeah, if someone didn't say you're a god. No, I'm an avatar, I think is the other thing. Or possibly a descendant. My words were chosen poorly. I need to think clearer on the way to translate them into words you can understand. This is my failing, not yours.
I think they understood you fine. They just didn't like the content of
I
what
know,
you
I'm
said.
trying to claim an error on my part.
What are you getting into?
The part of me is my people's way of saying my ancestors in ancient history. Many, 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 many generations past. While Muta raised her children here, Dahtay had a favored group who he fostered beyond the limits of the forest.
So you're making up a different story. Okay.
I am one of those lines. It's the only way I can think of squaring the circle with their idea of many, many, many generations.
Okay.
Obviously, Bo can probably do it a little bit more eruditely than I can.
Okay, they'll listen to you that you're different to children of Dahtay. Again, it's difficult for them to accept that you're different children of Dahtay, but they will accept it. They will accept that. You clearly have Muta's favour.
Yes.
That is not open to question. After a while, they let you out of their council, not understanding what you're saying, because you seem to say one thing at one point and then something entirely different at another point. But they're not going to argue with it anymore because of what happened.
I will promise to the council that we will not say any word of this to anyone beyond. It is for them to decide how to give this news unto the people.
Okay. So they let you out, and after a while, some people who hear about you come and they say they will help you move your dead thing. Some people seem to want to get to know you, follow you. One that does is this giant ape-like creature, who is a bit. Her fur is a bit like bluish, purplish, and she wants to. She says that she will. She turns around to you and she whispers in your ear and she says, "I know you are Dahtay."
Don't confirm it.
"I will stay with you. I will serve you."
Okay, you don't need to, but where we live, we have need of strong arms.
Very well. Okay, what are you doing, everyone?
We need to, Wilson, guys, do we need to warn these guys properly? Again, I don't know a way to explain that the coalition are going to be a problem, and that's just because they haven't seen them for 1,000 different years doesn't mean they're not there.
Just that there may be more.
Just because an enemy is gone for a long time does not mean it is not still an enemy.
Right.
Okay, so tell them, again, to the wisest of them, inform them that they should be wary and be essentially on the lookout for the skull-faced ones.
Well, if you are, basically they're saying, basically the people who are the elders turn around and tell you, if you are saying that the skull-faced ones are returning after 1,000 generations, then they will listen and they will put up guards and keep watch for the skull-faced ones.
Okay, that is wise of them to do so.
They're very deadly.
Wilson, we're only about 10 miles away from refuge, right?
Yes.
If you get yourself a quiet moment, just see if you can raise Castle Refuge and just get a timestamp from them, just in case.
Okay, I'll get on the radio and answer a chat. Well, actually, from a radio check.
Okay.
That should be the time.
Yeah, well, you're only 10 miles away, so yeah, they signal back that you and the time is just as you expect it to be.
Good.
Okay.
So it's just a case when phenomenal cosmic power is enforced. Something that occurred yesterday always had occurred yesterday for 1,000 years. It's freakiness like that.
one thing that they do say is that the last 2 days have been very, very strange, and they thought that they were omens because in all the 1,000 years that you've learned, that in all the 1,000 years, the darkness had never come. And now, the last 2 days, there has been darkness. And then the darkness went, and the light returned, and the darkness came again, and the light returned. And there had never been darkness before. Not in the same way. I mean, it's always a little dark in this woods because you can't always see the sky, but utter darkness had never come before.
So we're looking at, during that period of growth, it was sort of an accelerated time from their point of view, from the look of it. So there was like 1,000 years or 1,000 generations or whatever it was in that first 24 hours, and then once it stopped, ding, normal time service resumes. Okay, that makes sense. A little, timey-wimey sense.
Timey-wimey. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so we need to get the children to safety.
Okay.
And then we need to remove Constance from Muta's heart.
By the time you get back to where to where Constance is, you find Constance is no longer there. She's actually already been moved to, and by the time you get to the edge of the forest, you'll find Constance is just outside the reach.
Well, it's probably because, don't forget, I did the radio signal on Constance, so I went in looking, hang on, the radio signal's over there. And
yeah. It's them that have moved it.
Okay. Any damage to her?
No, there's
No,
not
I
any
just want to make sure
damage,
Muta's not jealous, anything, because Constance
No,
is really
no. Muta's fine with it.
What are the edges of this? Is it literally dense and then stops, or does it fade off a little bit?
The edges of it are more like, almost like the brambles knit together, almost like a strange wall.
So it is literally, it's like in Maleficent, where they had that big wall around Fairy Grove Place, and then it became normal world.
Yes. There are ways to get into it, obviously, but it's pretty much like a walled-in area. You'll have to learn about their history to find out.
Okay,
how
well,
things work
looking on the bright side, how wide is this area?
How wide?
Yeah. Is it like 10 metre? How big is the blob of forest across?
You've no idea.
Okay. But basically, I'm thinking...
When you look...
I'm thinking tactically.
It must go miles and miles.
Because thinking tactically, that becomes quite a well-fortified edge to the Tomorrow Legion's domain in this area.
Well, yeah, you reckon it must go... You reckon it may go 50, 60, 100 miles.
Okay, we'll have to plan
That's a very rough guess.
Okay. Well, we're out.
No real reason to know.
What's the name of Gorilla Girl?
What's the name of Gorilla?
Gorilla Girl? What I miss?
You said how many? I think you meant strays. That's
by the time,
strays that you're going to pick up.
Yeah, by the time you get to the edge of the forest, there is about 6 or 7 individuals who want to come with you all to find out what the world is like outside the forest, outside of Muta. They bring with them smaller seeds. They're like miniature versions of Muta.
Okay, do not plant any of those until we know what they're going to do.
Do you not know the story?
Mm-hmm.
Muta will not spread because Dahtay ban her from spreading.
So what do the seeds do?
They make homes.
Okay, not bad. Right, okay, we're going to go back to where we live now.
Just
And
make homes
food.
of
They
those?
make food. Say again.
Yeah, we could use some of those.
Yes. you can plant them and farm them, and they're different. They're different. They'll produce different things each one.
So we're going to head back to Castle Refuge now and deal with the fallout, because I'm assuming we're probably met at the edge by somebody. Yes. By about 100 people. Okay. Turn to the animal folk and say, just let us talk this out.
Oh, they're quite willing to let you talk. These ones understand that you must in some way be Dahtay.
Okay. Now, we've been keeping Castle Refuge up to date. Mm-hmm. Most recently, Wilson double-checking in. So what's the reaction? Who meets us?
The person that meets you is a cyber knight. She's quite old. I haven't done a picture for her yet. Sephia recognises her immediately as her mentor.
Sophia gasps when she sees her. It's probably the most emotional reaction you've heard from her.
Sophia, is it really you? You
Yes.
see that when you what's her name again?
Elvira.
Elvira. It's with a PH, isn't it?
Elvira.
Yeah.
Elvira, you can see that her throat has been slit. And that is hence why she talks with she used to have a beautiful singing voice, but that is why now when you see her, she speaks like Edith Piaf.
Je ne red rien.
Sophia, it is nice to see you. I heard you had gone into this forest. What did you find there?
That is an interesting story.
There are many interesting stories, no?
Mm.
We will
Yes,
have to talk ourselves. There is much to discuss.
Indeed.
But for now, I need a report, Sophia.
Ah.
Is this a threat?
I don't think it is.
I do not believe it is. It is benign. No.
Bo laughs when he says benign.
Very well. Do we need to keep a standing army here, or do you think we can stand it down?
Should keep a watch on it for a short time, but I believe it will be no problem.
She's not being rude, Elvira. But she's not addressing anyone else. It's like she knows how to communicate with a member of the Knights, and that it's not that she's trying to be rude. It's just that she's trying to get straight to the information she needs, and she knows that Sophia's trained enough to be able to present her with that. But it might to some people seem rude.
Look at her. She's not a blind warrior woman, is she?
Not at all.
Yeah. Excuse me, ma'am. If during the debriefing, if Cinder could take the children home first, they are extremely tired and have been through all that.
By all means, yes. We will walk. We will come back. Sophia, please fill me in as we go.
Sophia will do so.
Wait for appropriate moments and try to grab attention if interjection is needed.
Yeah.
But
Sophia,
otherwise, let Sophia deal with it.
You find that because you're reporting to a cyber knight, and remember there aren't very many cyber knights in the world, but the organisation that they have is second to none. You find it very easy. You go straight into military, knightly ways. You know, lady this, lady that.
At
sir
0400
this.
we
There's a
encountered
few-
the...
There, she has with her about another 5 cyber knights, which is a big contingency to be here, really. And they're all greeting you, and because they were on manoeuvres with her, and so you didn't see any cyber knights when you came. But now, basically, these 7 are very, very pleased to see another cyber knight come, and are very interested in your tales. They, which we'll go into another time. When you get back to your area,
Oh, it's gone blank.
Oh no. No.
oh no, what now?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
You
Look at
Old dude's been busy.
old dude has definitely been a little busy.
Wow.
Do you remember I told you about the shantytown part of it and what have you?
That's a
But
pretty respectable
he has-
shantytown.
Sorry, give me a second. I just want to make it. He has actually centralise that a little bit. No.
It's fine.
Is that okay? He has actually taken. I have all the shantytowns aren't showing up on this particular picture. I will show. I will do them again properly later on, but in fact, it doesn't even look like that anymore. Never mind.
It's fine. Certainly representative. I especially like that's the
basi-
sheriff's office on the left.
Yeah, you've got a sheriff's office here, and the blue building, which isn't actually blue. This is one of the earlier ones that I did, and it's wider. That is the community hall, and it's actually 2 buildings wide. That is what he has managed to have built. It's been about a week. It took 2 days to get into the middle of the forest of Muta, and then another 2.5 days to get out. So it's been about 5 days. But they have literally done a quick build.
Well, I assume they've got some technology
literally
and magic
all of your
can be
people
involved in that sort of
have-
thing. So.
Come together and made this.
We missed the Amish town hall raising.
Yeah, it was an Amish town hall raising. But also, if you look at the other buildings, you get the idea of what people have been living in or are living in at the moment. It's very much cobbled together. But now you have a central road, you have a central place for people to come and meet, you have a jail, which is the building on the side.
That local policeman.
But you don't have policemen.
No, but there's that local policeman we met, the one that tried to
Nice.
ask us for our papers.
Yeah,
Chief of police.
Yeah,
yeah, that's a chief of police.
Barney?
yeah. I
Let's
don't.
not.
Yeah,
No.
we don't want to. We don't want to employ anybody without, because I think the idea is they're supposed to have. Is it we're supposed to do our own policing, or is there a centralised police force?
I believe that was something he wanted to discuss with us at some point.
Okay, well, we can discuss that with him in the sheriff's office.
Right, so you've gotten back now. You've gotten through your ordeals. You've finally gotten home all in one piece. So that is actually the end of 2 adventures. So you can have the full 3 XP now for that.
Cool. XP mid-session.
Mid-session, yeah, because that's the finish of an adventure. The next adventure will be, what do you do with the town? So basically we'll just discuss what's going on. There's no more role-playing game this evening now, but we can discuss what you want
Crammed a lot
to
into a short
actually do.
Crammed a lot in.
Yeah, and
1,000 years.
and truncated it as well.
1,000 years.
What do you all have in mind to do with your characters, with your town?
Well, I was gonna try and organize some sort of when we were just a shanty town, I was gonna organize some guard routines and stuff. It's,
Excellent.
Yeah.
I think we still need
I
that.
think that's very, very needed.
Still needed.
Very, very needed.
The issue we're going to get is that as the more attractive this place looks, the more attention we're going to get from everybody else in the area. So,
Yeah.
I'm glad somebody's noticed that, and I didn't have to point it out to you.
Right.
Also, we need to discuss a name.
Yes.
True.
yeah, well, it's a district of Castle Refuge, isn't it? So it's not really. Well, it might be. I don't know. You never know. It might actually become the only town. We might expand exponentially and absorb everybody else, like some great
I'm just making myself a cup of tea,
thing.
but I can hear you because my
Yeah,
earphones.
she's wireless headset.
Well, there's like one part of it's the one of the other settlements is called the Warrens already. So
Yeah. Hang on a sec.
Yeah. I have a couple suggestions. As far as, organizing militia is a good idea. Also, I think we need to set up a perimeter of some sort. Not necessarily build walls, because what's the point in building walls? Because people have giant robots that can just step over them.
But sometimes walls, as you say, sometimes walls present a barrier in the mind, though they're not a real physical barrier.
Yeah, because we're on the right-hand side of Castle Refuge, aren't we?
Yes, that's correct.
So we've got lots of potential. There's no other signs of anything else to the south. So most.
There's nothing near. There's none of these encampments are as near to Castle Refuge probably as you are.
Right, let's go back to that one then.
Well, then what I would suggest was when we get to, just get some razor wires, set up some perimeters to the west, set up some fighting positions.
some watchtowers.
Yep. Because, at the end of the day, Castle Refuge is going to be able to give us a certain amount of security, but we're further out than Castle Refuge. So I think we need to take responsibility for perimeter security, which I think the watchtowers will help with. Is Cinder going to want somewhere? Is she going to relocate to a cave, or is she going to want to stay within the town area?
We do have that situation with the caves to deal with at some point as well.
Yeah, although that might be a moot one,
Right.
considering that the one that wanted them gone is now not living there anyway. But they might be better off out of the cave anyway.
Well, no, I think she was just one of them that wanted them gone.
Yeah,
they talked
the-
like
the
they were
other
having
dragons.
multiple
I think the other dragon's
encounters
still live
with.
there.
So
I mean, I think Cinder understands that it's not really suitable necessarily to have her children living in a cave.
yeah, we don't have to call child protection services on that just yet. Then.
I mean, it's bad enough they're living with a dragon, but now she wants to keep in a
just
cave.
baby.
And then
Yeah.
No, a dragon that's a baby.
yeah. And I'm not sure that Bo knows this, but you've come from or the kids have come from an education background as well, haven't they? Which
Yes,
of course
they were at
makes
the
us
magic school.
which makes us think: is that something we deal with in town as well? Do we have to get
That,
somebody
right,
to?
I was gonna say, I think a dragon would be fairly pro-education.
Mm.
But it might be worthwhile if we liaise with Castle Refuge on that, because they might have something being dealt with there.
Right.
So we've got perimeter security. I'm just writing some stuff down now.
You tell me, basically, the types of buildings that I can put, because I'm working from. These are actually from 3D models.
Mm.
So basically, you can have wooden bricks, but it'll take you that will take you a long time. The wooden ones, people won't have the energy to do a lot of quick building like that.
Mm. We need to set a timeline of regular building though, because the last thing we want is for anybody to start getting. We don't want the shanty town side of it to be seen in any way, shape, or form as permanent.
Right.
So we want to keep. Bo certainly wants to keep not the same momentum, but he wants to keep some momentum on the construction.
Yeah, that would be impossible to keep.
Yeah, not
that.
this level of momentum.
Yeah.
Certainly not. A manageable, looking at what the season is, prioritising people on need and frailty. I mean, we're going to need some kind of infirmary next, I think, to deal with the health concerns, or possibly.
Very well. Do that.
I'm thinking because it's security and health are the two things we need to deal with. Because if people are living in shanty towns, they're not going to be particularly healthy anyway, which is why we need to get them out of there as quick as possible. Not to mention any kind of underlying infrastructure, because I mean we've got now 130 people, adding the 10 or so.
Yeah, something like that.
Because we had 107, then we added the ones from the prison, the kids.
No, the prison was what made it up to 100.
Oh, that was what made it up to 107, and we've just come away with half a dozen manimals.
Yeah. And do remember, I'm only really, for the most part, giving you the numbers of adults, not the children.
So we've got perimeter security. I mean, by health, I'm just thinking of not like a hospital, but stuff like health and food. What's the local situation like livestock-wise?
Right, okay.
And crops. I mean, we're probably going to have to trade out for them for now.
You're going to need, if you can set up individuals, I will draw up, if you tell me what sort of individuals you're looking for, I will draw up some characters that you can put in charge of various things, but I want them to be proper personalities, so it's not something rushed without names and what have you. So if you say what you want in your community to be responsible for, like Cephia says she's going to be responsible for security, I get that's what you were saying, yes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems like the.
We put the
So
blind warrior on watch.
I will get you some some NPCs that you'll be responsible for. In Savage Worlds, even in combat, you can have little cohorts with you. So I will effectively make you a cohort of militia.
But that's more, that's it. Security, sanitation, water, and power. That's the sanitation, water, and power. That's the health thing.
What? No food?
Encapsulate. Well, food's a separate one. One.
Okay.
But sanitation, water, and power is the triumvirate you need for health. If one of those fails, then health starts to fail.
Okay. Right. When you before you're back for very long, you have a delegation coming to you. Some of them are wanting to shake your hand. Some of them have got their arms crossed looking at you.
Who are they?
They're your people.
Right, from amongst our people, right. Okay.
Yeah. And whilst they are all crowding round you as you come to your settlement, some of them are complaining that you've not been there for them. You brought them here. They've all got told you were their leaders, and then all of a sudden you disappeared. It's been something like 7 days. It's been a week, and they've not seen you.
Try to placate them, make them understand that the situation was unusual, and be quite clear and frank with what the situation was. Explain that there was the very real danger of death to a number of children that had to be dealt with. Other threats arose. We have been dealing with security threats on the boundaries. Point towards the tree that is clearly visible on the horizon. That is not a security threat, but that's something that we were involved in, and it will be a great boon to the to the city, let's call it the village, to the settlement here. And we'll be taking on delegates to deal with things. We will be controlling how things...
Ben.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
so we'll reiterate...
so to go back to where I was, there's people who are saying, well, perhaps you're just not the right
Who is
people.
it?
Sorry? Can everybody still
Nothing.
hear me? Right.
Yes.
There's a small delegation of people who are saying, well, perhaps you're not the right people to be in charge, because if you're going to gallivant off every time at the drop of a hat, then perhaps you shouldn't be. They're only a small group, about 5 of them, and you can see there's definitely a leader amongst them.
So I take it that you have ideas of your own to implement here.
He turns around to you and he says, well, yes, I do. I think I can do a better job than you. I'm not faulting what you've done so far, but we think that we have better ideas for the community.
Well, let's hear them then.
Be more than happy
I'd sooner discuss it at a later date.
Oh, that's what all that
I'm
is.
more interested right now to hear what plans you have. After all, you are the current leaders. It is your duty to tell us what your plans are.
Okay. We are looking to prioritize health, sanitation, power to make this place livable. We will
Lots of
undertake...
traps from people when you say that.
We will undertake a series of construction processes to ensure that nobody has to stay in any level of unsatisfactory accommodation any longer than is possible. We have limited manpower, but we will prioritize those people with very real requirements and concerns. Sephi will be taking, as I stated already to the crowd, on responsibilities for security. We will be setting up perimeter watches to bolster the already existing Castle Refuge security systems. There will be forays into the local area because we still do not know what surrounds us. The last week or so, if it has taught us anything, it has taught us that this is an area of unexpected benefits and risks, and we need to make sure each of these is dealt with in due course. All the construction here has been brought about as a direct result of this group's actions.
Provided the supplies. We healed the builder.
The expertise was brought in by us.
All I've heard you do is complain.
Oh, I'm not complaining, you
That sounds
understand.
like
Wilson, please.
This is going to be a settlement where we listen to people.
I've heard that before.
And
But,
look what happened to Tolkien, because I'm assuming that's where you're from.
I'm actually from,
Do I recognise this guy? Was he amongst the refugees or the others we brought back, or has he turned up? Is this an unfamiliar face?
it's not a face you're very familiar with, but
There were
not
lots.
really had that much time to. It wasn't one of the ones. It wasn't one of the ones that you were travelling with for months.
Right, so it's not any of the people we directly brought from Tolkien.
No.
Is it anybody? Well, Cinder's ones were mainly kids
Well,
and
actually,
young
no.
adults.
You do remember him being in the group. when you first got here.
But I don't
But
remember him being in the
don't
group
remember
when we
him
left.
from the very early days.
Right, okay.
So more. I mean, would it be more from when they picked us up?
Well, you.
I mean,
By
or
the
someone
you
I
was-
might be familiar with.
No, not really. It's you can't put your finger on it. No, you can't put your finger on when he joined the group. But then you've got over 100 people now.
Yeah.
It's starting to get a bit hard to pin down. What you can do for me is you can do me a politics roll.
Yeah.
Knowledge politics.
Nah.
No, sorry, it's not knowledge politics, it's knowledge. No, I'm not sure what it would be actually.
Well, streetwise is talking to people on the street.
I'll allow you to make a knowledge. I'll allow you to make a knowledge streetwise.
It's just
One.
streetwise. It's not knowledge streetwise. It's
Sorry, a streetwise one, but later on it would be knowledge, blah, whatever you're calling your community.
Oh, okay.
Which is a
Characters.
good idea for you to come up with a name now.
Okay. Bo got
Way
a
better
9.
than I am.
Well, I got charisma, which
Yeah.
adds to streetwise.
Okay.
But we both made it.
You reckon that this guy was...
Plus, I know a guy.
Yeah. This guy showed up. You remember this guy from just before the rescuing of Cinder and Herlock. But you can't say you remember him leaving with you, and you can't say you remember when he turned up.
Okay. But we first noticed him just prior to our encounter with the slavers.
Yeah, I mean, it's about the time when you became 50 people,
Right.
but
Do
when
I
he
know his
turned up
name?
is anybody's guess. Mr. Black.
Mr. Black.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you hear that? Mr. Black, right? Mr. Black. I know that you were a strong friend on the road. You suffered with all of us in the trials and tribulations on the
And
long
I
road.
did.
So, you know what it takes to deal with these sorts of situations. And up until now, I cannot say that I have seen you take the actions that have been needed to protect the people here. I am not saying that you do not have the capability. I am not saying that you do not have the willingness. And I am not saying you do not have the ideas that are needed. And mayhap, at some point in the future, the reins of power will change. And there will be a new leadership here. But I do not think this is that time. We need stability to promote growth.
But who is there to keep you to account, sir? Who is there to keep you to account?
Castle Refuge. They are there to keep everybody here to account.
Oh,
To
I
keep
think
everybody-
Castle Refuge has its hands full at this time. I'm talking about our community.
Which we already have the support of. Quick show of hands, please, people. There is no onus to show at this time, but quick show of hands. Who is in support of Mr. Black here?
Oh, I'm not going to play
No,
such
no,
games with you.
just very quick.
Why don't we
Mr.
have
Black.
a vote?
That is what we're doing.
This
I
is
have a
not a
suggestion.
vote. This is a hangman's jury. I suggest we
not.
have a proper vote with a secret ballot.
Fine.
Sometime next week, perhaps.
Why don't we
or-
do? We could do, but we have the technology to do it much quicker than that.
Oh, I don't think so. I think people need time for me to put my points and my ideas to the people. There needs to be a proper time of for the people to get to understand what both sides have to offer.
If you wish, but you have to realise that we are currently beholden to the rules of Castle Refuge. We are here at their
Mr.
behest.
Black over the other fancy towns and let him see where he would rather live.
No, Cinder, that's not a requirement.
I don't care about requirements.
Now, let's not get strong-armed about this.
It's just
It's
banter.
not giving. It's not
just
really
banter.
giving the right idea. So, are you suggesting that if people disagree with your regime, that they will be flown off somewhere?
The only person suggesting that is you, Mr. Black. No one has said anything of the kind.
I'm just asking questions here.
Of course. But we are beholden to the rules of Castle Refuge. We are here at their largesse.
Well, we shall see. So you're okay for the vote?
I
then,
welcome
are
you two. I welcome the exercise of the democratic process.
Very well. Good. Well, my business here is done for the
No, it isn't, because the first thing we have to do is, and I'll turn to somebody who's neutral, ensure that by the end of today, in fact, within the next 6 hours, we have a full list of everybody who currently resides within the community. We will stay here. We will not talk to anybody else until we have a full census.
Just as a little point, sir, it would be quite difficult to do that at this time because at the moment, since we've been building up, we're the only community that's actually been building things up. A number of people have snuck in.
Fine. We record them as of now. How many people are we talking about?
I couldn't really tell you, sir, but I can find out.
We need to get it done. The last thing I want to do is to suddenly find 300 to 400 people arriving from somewhere else that all seem to vote one way.
Right. Well, Mr. Black.
Should I report to Mr. Cephia then? She's the law, I take it.
Sure, Cephia? Don't do the
so-
count yourself. Make sure that this gentleman is resourced to do it.
Sheriff Stephanie.
Very well.
Which is better
I'll
you than
do that. I'll get right on that then.
Basically, we'll have somebody at the town building
Right.
stationed there to take information from people. And essentially we'll give them until... I mean, what time of day is it now? What time of day is it now?
No, I've got it. Just a moment.
Jem, what time is it now?
What time is it now?
Yeah. What time of day?
Oh, it's pretty much early afternoon, early morning.
Fine. What do you reckon? 24 hours?
For
to,
what?
to register to vote.
Who are you asking?
I'm just brainstorming between the group.
Well, we gotta figure out who gets to vote.
I would say you've got to be... Well, yeah, we've got to get a register of voters first.
What happened?
Is all good on your end?
Mm,
Okay, we've got an issue to deal with, so we'll go with that. So, yeah, a register of voters. We need a reliable way of ensuring that people don't just turn up, though. Some means to prove that they've been here or came with us. At least 2 other people have to vouch for them from the group. 2 other
Yeah.
citizens.
yeah.
And we don't want to take too long, so 24 hours so that other things can't be arranged. Essentially, in this first vote, Jem, there's got to be, we need a way to prove that they need to prove that they are or have been part of the community, not that they've just turned up from somewhere else.
Right.
And the only thing I can think there is that two other people from the community have to say yes that they are part. So it's a sort of a triangle thing.
Okay. Jolly good. Sounds relatively, unless it's not three individuals who just came in together.
But then they have to show. How do we go? We're going to show that they're part. We need a couple of people to host the voting station or whatever you call it for getting the people in to register, who have been there since the beginning, who can reliably identify people. It can only be an eyeballing thing. It can't be anything more than that. It's going to be open to a little bit of abuse. But we know roughly how many people we've got. So if the numbers start going much over 150, then we know there's been some shenanigans. So we have limited resources to do this, but we will do our best to do it.
Oh.
I mean, if there's many names we don't recognise, then we can start getting alarm bells at that point and confirm them.
Okay. The piece of information you're going to need, of course, is the social conflicts thing, which I have
Oh wow,
just
social
put up.
conflict.
Social conflict is what you're going to need for this vote and the
Okay.
discussion period that will come before it. But that will not be today. It'll be
Okay.
a different day. But that is what you're going to need to get familiar with. I mean, pretty much Mr. Politics guy is going to
Knowledge,
fine.
politics, and persuasion. Hopefully.
get to know, you might want to try to get to know your people, so if you get any skill points.
But I mean, Bo's been doing that anyway. Bo has been spending as much time with the people in between chunks anyway.
Can I push you to give your group a name?
I think we've been thinking about it, but I think that Stephen and Tam have probably got ideas, but they're off at the minute. So
Okay, I'll wait till they come back then.
luckily, my knowledge politics is actually higher than my persuasion. If I'm trying to argue a point.
At some point that morning, whilst you're still very, very busy since you've just gotten back, you find that, oh gosh, what's her name?
Elphira?
No, not Elphira.
Dara?
Dara, yeah, the leader.
The dragony girl. Oh no, you're talking Dara. You're talking about the
Dara,
dwarf.
yeah. The leader of this whole castle refuge. She comes up with a little cohort and asks if she could have some of your time.
Oh, gladly. How can I assist the castle?
Are you there, Rob?
Yep.
Cool. I suppose Tamra and Stephen are not at the moment.
Stuff.
Right. Dara, is it Hammerheart?
I think so.
Dara Hammerheart turns around and says, you're all the buzz.
I believe that may be a situation. A correct way of describing it, anyway.
We're very impressed with what you've done. Everybody's talking about what you've made of your little region here. And we of the Council of Hope have gotten together and we've decided that we have a responsibility and a goal for the whole region and joining everyone together and what have you. But we don't have the time to deal with this unexpected refugee situation. And from all the camps that I hear, you're the only group that seemed to have gotten
Idea.
together and actually started to make some kind of township.
Well,
So
Ms. Hammerheart, all I can say is it's been difficult.
I'm sure it has. Perhaps you'll tell me what you did to get it all together like you have.
Found the right people, gave them the right jobs, and frankly, threw so many things up in the air and waited to see which bit stuck. Because frankly, we as well were being pulled from pillar to post with lots of different occurrences that we have no control over. Luckily, the people we found seem to work well together. Although, not saying we haven't had our problems, we've got one potential leadership issue coming up, but I'm sure we can deal with it.
Aye, well, you've got another leadership issue as well, because the council have decided that they want to make you responsible for the building of the town that will go around the castle.
What?
That's don't blame me. I didn't suggest it. That's what the council have suggested. Look, don't get us wrong. We're not saying we want you to deal with that, to take all this responsibility on at the moment, because we understand that you're building up a town right here, and to be quite honest, considering where you're placed, you're in a good position for this to be the centre of the town.
To just expand out from here.
And just expand out. Now, what we suggest is get yourselves sorted out first, and maybe then once you're sorted out with your people that you brought in, then expand from there. We don't expect that to be for a number of months yet.
Okay, can I just ask on a purely logistical point?
Aye.
Are there any funds for this?
No, not really. And not only that, if you're needing wood, you're going to have to organise groups to get wood. If you're needing food, you're going to have to organise farmers and gardeners and greenhouses.
Okay.
If you're at the end of the day, we're talking about a council of elders, starting with your group, which will be answerable obviously to the Council of Hope, because we have other things we need to be responsible for, and we can't be responsible for this as well.
That's understandable, but it's a big ask without any kind of monetary input.
That's the problem we find ourselves with, because we've got all these people now. They've come from nowhere. We haven't planned for it. You have to remember, if you go back less than a year, we weren't even in this world.
Understandable. Quick out-of-character question, Jem. I'm assuming timeline-wise, for those that have read the Tomorrow Legion Player's Guide, I'm assuming timeline-wise we haven't reached the point where a certain couple of individuals turn up?
When you say a certain couple of individuals, who are you talking about?
Mr. and Mrs.
No. They probably have spoken to them.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't really say whether they've turned up or not.
Fine.
Let's keep that out of it for now.
Okay, well, we'll see what we can do. Bo literally looks at Wilson and Cephia, and sort of like as if resignedly to say, we've got even more to deal with. He's not putting this on Cinder. She's only young. She's got her own things to deal with.
Basically, you get the idea. What they're saying is that they want to make a group of people that are not directly Castle Refuge.
Yep.
That are responsible for all of this that's happening outside the castle. Because they're trying to, their job, as they see it, is to try and get the various regions around to ally with them against the two main threats of the coalition and Dunstan's lot.
Federation of Magic.
Federation of Magic.
If they are indeed a threat. Which I'm sure they will be.
That is what their main goal is, but there's this town that was not planned for, this shanty town that was not planned for. They're trying to get, they see you as very, very capable indeed, and they would like you to be responsible for getting this sorted out while they deal with the bigger picture. But they understand that is going to take time, because they realise that they're throwing a lot onto your shoulders, because a lot's been thrown onto their shoulders. But the reason they picked you is because they've had 16 groups come and ask if they can come and move over to you. Well, yeah, that's the thing, you see. Everywhere else is a mess. You've suddenly come in, you're building a town. Inside of a week, everybody wants to be with you, because they can see proper homes, they can see proper food, they can see all of this. And whilst you're talking with her about all of this, you suddenly hear
Somebody's planted a seed. Yes.
And the far left corner, I don't know if you can see this. Can you see that?
Yeah, we can see the little red dot far left corner, yeah.
Let me just do it in the other thing as well. Interact. There.
Mm-hmm.
They, all of a sudden, that corner has become a bit like a big old pumpkin patch. And there is it's the same kind of thing, but it's a bit like
it's like a breadfruit squash.
Yeah, it's a bit like a bit like a breadfruit / pumpkin field that's grown up, and it's instant.
Okay, I'm going to look at it and immediately think excellent, but then go, but no, but it's in the wrong place.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, we can deal with that later. Wilson.
She turns around and she just looks, and she, how did you do that?
It's recently achieved allegiance with, and point toward the tree.
Oh my goodness! Do you know all of our farms have been raided from the refugees? Have raided every single one of our farming fields, and all of a sudden you've come in and instantly created food.
Cephia, can you get some guys to defend that field?
You're going to need to, because I'll tell you something, there's going to be a gold rush on that field before the day's out.
Stephen, your mic's not on, I don't think.
Are you there, Steve?
Yep.
That's better. Right, Stephen.
Yeah.
We need, and you're probably, well, I probably have to go with you, but we don't have anything to trade, apart from Kingsdale's.
We're going to talk to people, maybe.
Well, Kingsdale's not too far away. I think we need to go and get Cephia a police force.
That would be useful.
You mean Mercs?
Well, yes. And Kingsdale's the most, the closest thing.
I don't think Kingsdale was that close.
Well, it's the closest one I know of. There might be closer, but it's not on the map.
Where's the map at?
It's a centre of bionic, cybernetic, MOM and user augmentation, and is a haven for mercenaries, magic users and psychics.
Right, cool.
And 110 miles west of that is Wykin, another independent city-state. But they're xenophobic of anything not human, so I don't think they're a good one to go for.
Right. I mean, Viking, but the new... Wrong book.
because that's going to cost you money,
I know, that's the problem.
which you don't have.
Exactly.
It might be better to train up a militia that is
I'm thinking
indigenous to here.
correct, but I'm thinking of trying to cover
And
both
not
bases.
only that, you have a knight, so she's pretty well.
Oh, I'm not saying we don't do that as well.
That sort of thing.
I'm not saying we don't do that as well, but
And she could actually put some sort of like slight knightly bent on it.
could while we're here, ask Miss
I
Hammerheart.
don't know what you've got in mind, Zephyr.
What's the situation at the castle as far as troops are concerned?
Are you there, Seth? Rob?
Yeah, I'm there.
Yep.
I'm
Okay.
here.
Did you hear that? I said. Did you hear what we were saying?
I will think about it.
Mhm.
I haven't
Sure.
got any ideas about it yet.
Cool.
Ask her, has the Legion got anything they can... I mean, we're part of the Tomorrow Legion,
You
aren't
are part of it.
we? Has the Legion got anything they can lend to defend?
What resources do we have? Just
Fine, you don't have any money. I'm dropping the accent for a bit.
They can. They're very badly stretched at the moment, and there are trouble in a lot of. I mean, crime is rife in the various shanty groups.
Do you reckon we could keep it
Your-
going for enough sessions
your-
so that I can
your
just raise
group
it
is-
via
your-
I know a guy every
The
session?
only difference is your little shanty group. They've got this whole. They've got their pride on at the moment because they are sort of like. They're like the upmarket lot, right? Right, for want of a better word, because they've got this that everybody else wants and no one else has got, but everyone wants to be a part of it. It's like you've made a focal point.
Right.
But it's also a cause of dangerous jealousies, for, you know.
Right, well, we've got power. Because frankly...
You've been given the power.
I mean electrical power. Because
Oh,
frankly, I will take... If needs be, I will take the engine out of Constance or hook up power to Constance. She's got a nuclear engine.
Okay.
I don't know how much individual power they'll get, but we can rig something up tonight to have things lit if we needed security.
I don't think turning on lights is going to be. That's not security.
We need people.
I was going to say people's what we need. Turn on lights.
Yeah.
That's just a beacon.
Yeah.
We need people.
People will volunteer. I mean, they've had kids kidnapped.
And we went and got
You
them.
know, and what have you. That their building of the town is, and volunteering in such huge number, literally almost every one of them that were able-bodied.
Basically,
helped build
we're
this
we're
thing.
living an episode of What's His Face Home Edition, isn't it? With Ty What's His Face when they go, move that bus, move that bus.
Yeah, literally it was. Because, fear was behind all of that. And they've seen, I mean, people have visited the Warrens and it's a scary place. And they don't want that. They want to be different. They want to be more. But other people, when they see that, they're going to want the same.
Right.
And you've proven to be the ones that can do it.
Yeah, but it's needs to be controlled. Right, guys, I'm going to use I know a guy. What sort of guy do you think I need to know?
Wilson's typing something.
Yeah. Yes, we can. Exactly. That's what I was thinking. That's exactly what I was thinking with I know a guy. We could, because
Yeah, Wilson, that's a very good point.
I need to find a people procurer, somebody that's already has a trained group. I need a mercenary captain.
Why are you not saying that, Wilson? Is yours
wait.
Well, because
We know one.
is
well,
your
I'm not saying it.
is your
No,
mic
I
not
just-
working or something?
No, I was just thinking.
It keeps it on record as well. There. What were you saying, Sefia?
Yeah, I'm doing that mostly to That's why I've done
We
everything here.
we know one already, don't we?
Basically, we need an HR person.
Yeah, but who are you thinking about, Zephyr?
I forgot his name.
Charlene?
Yeah.
She
Good
might be able
point.
to. She might be able to bring some. I'm loath to. Well, I know the black market.
If
I'm
Char-
loath to bring too many black market people involved, though. But yeah, she might be right.
Whatever Charlene brings in, though, it's going to be dodgy. People, place. It's not going to be good.
See, I'd
Do you
prefer.
want to turn your place into a
Cinder's not a
crimeville?
fan.
Yeah, I'd prefer. I mean, if we're looking mercenaries, I'm sure that we could find a reliable mercenary group. It's just a case of bringing it to bear. So,
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, go
But-
ahead with that then.
but we need resources as well. So, has anyone else got the Scrounger perk?
I do not.
Okay, it's just me then. Because I'm thinking about Scrounger. I've not been using it, but you can procure food for 2d6 people for a week, and 2d6 people for a week becomes 14d6 people for one day. So, so I could get resources, or I could get a non-secured cred card. Right. Okay, I'm going to use. I know a guy. To basically see if I can locate somebody in the rest
I think you'll
of the
find
area.
46 people for a week is suggesting that over the week they can feed 14 Ds.
Yeah, I said 40, but otherwise, if you're not feeding for a week, you're feeding for a day.
Yeah, but you're assuming that a week's worth of food could be got in a day.
No, the Scrounger perk, just you recover in one roll for the session. You get that amount for the
I
week.
get that it's one roll, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's one moment.
Okay, but okay, but it's one per session. But I'm not doing that anyway. I'm doing. I know a guy.
Right.
So we need a fixer then.
Yeah, I need to find a guy who is connected. I'm connected, but I need somebody who's connected and isn't me.
Well, now that you mention it, I wondered how long that would take. Now,
Gilbert.
there is someone already linked to the Legion.
I know her because I saw you doing the picture.
It's not a her, actually.
Oh,
it's
okay.
a him.
Okay, different picture.
It's called Charles Chuck Jones.
Well, I know him. Oh wow, it's the guy that had Voldemort in the back of his head, or at least it looks like him.
No, it's not him.
I don't know.
Blue Raja.
He throws forks at
What am I
people.
doing?
Oh, Northern Gun Rep. Oh yeah,
Oh
perfect.
yeah.
And it would be
Yes.
perfect if I. Oh,
Now-
coalition. He says
I
Castle Refuge Relief Fund.
Right, yes. So he is your go-to guy.
So I need to
Now-
know if I know him or not.
I am going to use some artistic license with this guy. And I'm going to have him as something like a not Korean, but something like that. Are you asking to speak to him?
Well, I want to know if I know him. If we've got a history, it might be easier.
Just talk like a Youper.
What's he?
Upper Peninsula.
Oh, right. I've never heard that one before. Yeah, it's kind of an Asian one.
So
Do
shall I
you
make an
know
I know a
him?
guy roll first of all to see if I counted him
You might have
before,
heard of him.
or if we have a history, or
Whoa, what's going on? If your
everyone's taking off their
speaker-
microphone.
Microphone's going crazy.
I think Rob's taking his headset off.
Yep. Got a boat bolted.
So if you, I don't know what you can do. You can mute him on TeamSpeak briefly. It has to be on your one.
Okay. I'll mute him. Can he unmute himself?
I don't think so, but he'll have to draw
Okay,
attention.
fair enough.
Have you muted him?
Yeah, I've muted
It's
him.
not done it then.
Right, okay. It's not done it for you.
No.
No, it's,
No,
it's
it's still super echoey.
and you can see, if you look at the display
Okay,
when
I've
we're
done the
talking,
wrong thing.
he's lighting up. So it's not. You know,
Hold on. Unmute client.
Are you back, Rob?
Okay, I know what I'll do. I will put him in AFK.
User was moved out of your channel.
There you go.
That's better. He
That
can
done
move back
it?
in when he gets back.
Then he can
There
take
we
himself
go.
out of AFK, can't he?
Yeah, you can pull yourself out of AFK. No
Cool.
problem at all.
Right. Okay. Where were we? Oh, yes.
Yeah, so I know a guy, if I'm successful, it'll effectively allow me to use him as a connection.
Well, he's already a connection.
Okay.
He's a permanent connection to. He's in the main book.
Is he accessible? Because, I mean, he's in the
He
castle.
is accessible, yes. Hello. How can I help you?
I understand, Mr. Jones, that you're a go-to guy here with regards munitions and people.
That is what I do. Yeah. I'm very pleased to help.
Okay. I take it you got a vested interest in having some kind of economic control here within the settlements?
Oh yes, I always help. You say what you want. I get for you.
Okay. We're in need of a small reliable force to defend the town that's beginning to grow outside the city, outside the castle.
You. What you need? I get for you. Just say I get.
As I say, a small, well-armed force that can help defend.
That very difficult. I might be able to get you the weapons, maybe,
If we can provide the manpower, that would be ideal.
manpower. You.
We provide the manpower.
Oh.
You provide the weapons, that would be ideal.
Good. Yes. I can get you stuff. If you do me a favor, I help you.
Okay.
If you allow me,
Where would you like to set up
If you allow me set up my shop in your town.
Completely agreeable with that. Where would you need to set up?
I can choose.
Well, we'll give you the prime choice from when we actually start setting up the municipal districts.
But you're not gonna make me go in back, no?
I'm sure that the retail section of the town will not be anywhere but the prime location.
On High Street.
Well, wherever we decide the high street will be, you will have your shop there.
I get you good stuff. No bad stuff. Oh, this is good though. Yes.
Well, hopefully.
I get for you. When you build my shop.
When? What, you get it just when we build it? Or, well, we need... Okay, the issue is...
No. I get for you straight away, but I want to know when you build my shop.
Right, okay. Can you get back to us tomorrow on that? Because we really need to start planning this sort
you
of
build
thing.
my shop tomorrow?
No, we'll decide when. We don't yet know when the various districts will come online.
Okay then. Don't worry, I get you stuff for you.
Cephia, what do you need?
Sorry, I was away.
That's alright, I'm talking to the guy that can get us guns.
Right.
What do you need? He can't provide people, but he can provide ammunition and... Well, munitions, essentially.
I need to know what who I have and what they're able to handle. is the
That's
thing.
right.
Yeah.
Small arms?
Small arms.
Small arms. I would suggest just laser rifles and body armor.
And possibly some non-lethal hand-to-hand means to disable people rather than shooting holes in them?
Yeah.
Sure.
Mr. Jones.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it looks like we need... Cephia, how many men do you think you'll be able to get together? 6? 12?
What do I figure?
I think it's a question to you, Jim.
Sorry?
A question to you. How many men does Cephia think she can get together?
initially, when you look at them, I'm going to actually say, there isn't a leadership skill exactly, is there?
No, there's a lots of edges, but you don't normally get them until much later.
Yeah, I was gonna say leadership. Those leadership edges are. Hello.
Yeah, sorry, I was just trying to work out
Okay.
what skill it was. I didn't mean to not respond. I think we're going to have to go with persuade. Can anybody think of anything better than that?
I can persuade.
Sorry?
I can persuade.
Go on then. Do us persuade.
It's a smart space roll, isn't it?
Persuasion is spirit.
Spirit.
Oh, okay. So
When you say you can persuade, do you mean you've got the persuade skill or you haven't got the persuade skill?
I have the skill. Yeah.
Cool.
And you got success.
Yep.
Right. You managed to get 4 people at the moment
Okay, so we're looking for weaponry to arm half a dozen. Yeah?
that you believe can be trusted, and they have a background in doing that sort of job. They're skilled at using firearms.
So we're looking
and,
for.
and dealing with troublesome people.
Yeah. So we're looking for neural maces because they're non-lethal. Body armor. We're not expecting them to be sort of like assaulted by mega damage weaponry, so I don't think it has to be massively big body armor. And
If we get assaulted by anything that requires mega damage, then we have bigger problems.
exactly, and then laser pistols or laser rifles.
Okay.
Yes, that sounds.
Okay, if you write that down for me I think you've got in your players section.
There's a notes section isn't there in the
How
journal.
did the notes section go?
Shared
Shared
notes.
player folder, shared notes. If you write it in there, then
So because he's Northern Gun, I'm assuming we're talking about the NG33s and the NG45s.
Yeah.
yeah, he's very willing to supply all of that for you free of charge, because basically Northern Gun will get a
But who's not in this?
branch in the best part of town.
Laser rifles.
Try not to go over the top. Give them stuff that militias would normally have. Not,
Yeah, that's what I'm going for.
not
really
not beyond that.
Low range. So it's
Yeah,
basically
so just their baseline Northern Gun rifles, the Huntsman's armor, which isn't environmental,
yeah.
relatively cheap. No grenades or anything, and neural maces. I think that should be enough. But
Okay.
I think I'm going to go into the shanty towns and start looking for some
Excellent idea.
people who might.
You've literally, as you said earlier, you've got your pick, literally right now.
I'll accompany them because we'll what are you looking for? Are you going to look for combat related or?
Well, yeah, but I'm not looking for like police forces. I want to. What I want to do is I want to push things out so that.
You're looking for rangers.
Right, so that we can deal with problems before they get into town.
And I'm going to look same place, but I'm looking for people with skills that would help in town. I'm looking for sanitation workers, health workers, medical professionals.
Right.
And then we'll offer them the same. Basically they get they and their family can come into our camp and
Yeah, that's gonna be a really good thing, and it's gonna get you what you want. But it's also gonna be the type of, you know how people are. They will also put backs up elitism, blah 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 blah. So you're gonna have a lot of politics to deal with.
Yep.
as
oh
well.
yeah, but to get stuff done, you got to do
Yeah, absolutely.
And Cinder can go and deal with the people in the caves.
And what about law?
Oh, deal with people in the caves. I'll take care of that.
Yeah. What was that, Jim?
What about the law?
Well, that's what Sephi is doing.
Sephi is dealing with that.
We're going to have to start with.
But believe it or not, one of your most pressing needs at the moment, which won't take you too long to work out because someone will tell you if you don't realise it, is, well, actually food. But you actually do have food for a few days. That place will grow quite well and quite quickly.
Well, for the food, we need people with that skill set. They need to be able to identify. We essentially need people to go out and survey what areas are good, because the last thing you want is for somebody to start digging up whole crop area and find out that it's clay-based soil and that nothing will grow, or they happen to put it at the bottom of a floodplain.
So Missouri.
Or it's at the bottom of a floodplain, and the next time it rains, all the corn gets washed away. So, well, yeah, I'll draw that in as part of who I'm looking for. Excuse me?
Come here, little one.
Where is she?
Whining again.
Why is she whining?
Because she hasn't been paid attention and cuddled. And
As long as she doesn't stick her arm through a bed rail, it'll be fine.
stick her arm through a what?
A bed rail.
Bed rail.
Oh no! Oh, that sounds painful though.
Apparently it was.
Oh,
Dear.
ow.
What all that screaming was.
Oh no. Oh, is that why you both had to go?
Yeah.
I had to take her bed apart
Oh no.
because they were all in their.
Boy.
Yeah. So those are the things that you're going to have to find a way to get around, to make work. That will require you to give me some sort of write-up as to what each and every one of you are doing. But before we end it tonight, I would very much like to know what you want to call your town.
That's a good question.
Or group as well, I think that was the other question. So what is it? It's Castle Refuge.
What was that?
No idea.
Just a second.
Synonyms for refuge.
Okay.
Names. Oh, we'd love to
Haven.
be
Haven.
That's a classic one.
True. Haven's not bad.
What's the... a rather Canadian one is Anchorage, but that would be for a coastal one. I'm surprised nobody's suggested Seffiaville or Wilson Town or Cinderton, Beauville.
do it like we do here in Indiana, name it after some other town in Europe and don't pronounce it correctly.
That's all across America, isn't it?
Oh no, it's really bad in Indiana.
Is it? Okay. We could call it Leicester.
Yeah, there's a town Milan, which is Milan.
Yeah.
We call it Milan.
Yeah, Milan, yeah.
Then there's the one, my personal favorite is Edinburgh. And the sound, the name of the city clearly says Edinburgh.
Yeah.
Clearly says Edinburgh. Now, if you understand that this part of Indiana was originally all settled by Germans.
Oh, okay. Because Edinburgh is
it's Edinburgh, and all going
Scottish.
I don't know why a bunch of Germans named their town Edinburgh, but that's how it's pronounced.
Yeah, but it's just as bad over here because we've got things like there's Leicestershire, which is Leicestershire, but it's spelt Leicester.
You have Versailles.
But then you've got Cirencester, which is spelt the same as Leicestershire, but it's pronounced Cirencester because of the sense, and we make it up as we go along.
It's because of having so many different base languages.
Yep, many different base languages.
Saxon, Jute, Armorican. Did you know that there was an Armorica in the ancient world?
Right, place names. Names.
I'm trying to think. Haven, Sanctuary.
Kingdom names? No. Where's the village names? No. Town and city names? Right. No. God, Jeebus. I've got this great fantasy name generator, and it has just got 1,000,001 different ones. American towns, Central. I know that's Central America, as in, yeah, okay, that's like Aztec. Place names, town and city. Fantasy town names or American North? Which one do we go with? Northern American towns. Allaworth, Kirkham, Drumble, Hullamuit. That's like Canada.
Those are all like, yeah, those are something like Maine and up in New England.
Yeah.
Settleton.
We're all.
It's what we're doing.
Settleton? Huh. I don't know.
Let's go for the fantasy one, see what they do. Mistrest, Autumn Guard, Thornfell, West Spire, Ebon Hill, Mightbourne, Hart Wallow, Swiftbourne, because it is, quite literally. That's not a bad one.
Riftbourne?
Well, Riftbourne. That's not too bad. That's a
Interesting.
Rift Haven. Given recent ones, Forest Shade is a. But you don't really want to name it after a thing that's only been there 2 days or 1,000 years, depending on who you go from.
I don't know.
And we've got the big castle.
I don't want to tie it into like the whole hope theme.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Haven or Sanctuary.
Grace. Anyway, I'm the GM, I should shut up.
I'm just clicking this and getting random stuff to go through. Now, but I'm trying to remember. Can you show us the map again, Jem, of actual Castle Refuge?
Sure.
Honorvale.
Honorvale?
That's not bad.
I don't know.
That's not a bad one.
Because I'm just thinking, because there's a big cliff, isn't there?
Yeah.
Or there's a cliff or a ridge.
Yeah, Ridge.
Ridge Haven.
Ooh, I kind of like that one.
Because at the end of the day, the town is probably going to stretch to the
Hope
north
Ridge.
as well. Hope Ridge.
Mm.
I like that one. Yeah.
I like that one.
Yeah.
I like that one.
Hope Ridge.
Hope Ridge. Okay, Hope Ridge it is.
Or Amityville.
That's on a hill, not a cliff. So, but let's all go down there.
Right, Hope Ridge.
Now, is it 2 words or is it 1 word? These things, the arguments for for centuries are prevented by genealogists if we make the decision now. Is it Hope Ridge or Hope Ridge?
Make it 2 words.
2
Make
words.
it 2 words.
I like it separate words, yeah.
Yeah. Cool, got it.
What are you doing to that dog?
And we can call ourselves Squad Ridge or Squad Hope Ridge.
Okay, so Hope Ridge, and what will your group be called?
Oh, jeez. Everything. That's involves thinking and creativity and stuff.
Oh.
Wow.
Squad 3.
Is that, I mean, the group as a whole, or?
Yeah, our team, basically.
So our primary group, not the whole town?
Yeah, your primary group.
Okay.
The whole town, I suppose, is
Well, yeah.
Hope Ridge.
Hope Ridge.
And this is just Town Square or whatever. Do we have to have a mercenary group name?
You don't have to.
Can't come up with one. But
It's handy for
I
when we're
think it
reporting
gets
in.
a little superhero-y. We're treading on Marvel territory here.
I mean, what kind of group are we in Tomorrow Legion's terms? They have a special group type, don't they? Is it I forgot what it's called now. It's in the player's guide. It's the one that they put together to deal with the how do we get this bunch of otherwise weird SOBs to work together, because they're not a mapping group, they're not this group, they're a special investigations squad or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
I can't remember what they called it.
Okay. I mean, do we want to incorporate the town name into the group name? I mean, if we're going to do it, I mean, naming it, doing like the mercenary company or free company.
Well, at the moment, as far as Hammerheart's concerned, we're the council, so
You're the Council of Elders.
we can't call ourselves the Council of Hope because that's what they're
You're the
called.
Town Elders.
Yeah, we can't call ourselves the Council of Hope because that's what the Castle Refuge one's called.
No. I was going to name, I would do the White Company, but that's just because I like John Hawkwood.
Yeah.
Most people give me that strange blank look when I
I
say
don't like it.
Don't like it?
No.
Well, come on. How can you not like a guy who once got paid for a job by having a painting of a statue? And I'm not joking when I say that. You guys are closer to it than I am.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I want to go to Florence.
God, where is it? I can't remember the name they call them. It's annoying me now. I'm in the right section. What they call the groups, because they have the group arrangement, don't they? In the
I don't remember.
Tomorrow Legion. Hang on. Magic versus Tech, Heartland. Come on, where are you? Tomorrow Legion. Tomorrow Legion. Tomorrow Legion. Oh, right, page 25, I think it was. The High Defender, the Council of Hope, General and Command Staff, the battalions, special units. Yeah, the bulk of the Legion defined by the 3 standing battalions. The most work is done by the various special units of the Legion. The entire concept is still in its infancy, yet already Legionnaires have done battle against terrible monsters and powerful enemy forces out in the wild of the region. Yeah, tell us about it. More active special units. special exploratory teams are the most eclectic and adventurous teams of all. So that's definitely what we are. Because we're not community outreach. I don't know, we are. We're emergency relief and community outreach and communication infrastructure.
I think that's based on what job you're doing at the
Yeah.
time, isn't it, really?
I just think there was a name that could come out of that, but...
Rangers is always a good one. Something Rangers.
Ridge Rangers. Hope Ridge Rangers.
Ridge Rangers.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Hope Ridge Rangers.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
It's got an alliterative bit to it, which alludes slightly to Marvel, because everything that's named in Marvel always has alliteration. If Stan Lee has anything to do with it, it does anyway.
Not always, though.
No, there's so many in there.
Well, I mean, he did Tony Stark, and there's no alliteration there.
I know. There's always
Not like the
exceptions.
That's not the only one, though. He does like his alliteration.
Peter Parker, Quentin Quire, Ralph Roberts, Reed Richards. Wow, there's actually an alliterative names in comic books. Can you name them all? Website.
Bruce Banner.
Oh, jeez, there's
Two
a
Storm.
very big list. Oh my lord, that's a very big list. Right, you said that he didn't, but of course it's the Invincible Iron Man.
Well, yes, it is the Invincible one. That was the name of the comic.
Yeah.
The character you did not have a...
Yeah, Astonishing Ant-Man.
Oh.
There's a big list of them. But DC's just as bad. Billy Batson, Black Beetle, Blue Beetle, Guy Gardner, Hank Henshaw. Even the Martian's in it, John Jones.
Yep. I wonder how they're going to make that work. It just made me think of the...
And of course Iron Man had his own one because Pepper Potts.
Yeah, Pepper Potts.
Massive
yeah.
amount of alliteration in that one. Victor Von Doom. I was watching, what was it, the Gotham, the last episodes, and I didn't realise there was a Doctor Strange or a Professor Strange in DC.
Yes, yeah, there is. I mean...
Yeah, although their version of Doctor Strange is the Doctor
Like
Fate.
Fate.
Yeah.
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 Big golden helmet.
Cooler look than Doctor Strange, but...
I don't know, Cumberbatch looks quite good in the outfit.
He does.
I don't know.
I don't know.
The accent's a little bit at the moment. I'm sure I'll get used to it in the film, but it's a little bit. Really?
It's a little. Yeah, it's a little bit.
You could have just let him be British.
Yeah. Well, you couldn't because he's an American character.
An American character. He's an American character.
The-
Come on.
the-
You already had Batman once. Now you have Superman.
We do?
Well, the actor's English.
Oh,
actor-
well,
the actor.
but does he play
No, he
any?
doesn't.
No, he doesn't. He does the accent.
He does the accent. It's not
American
horrible.
cinema currently is full of English actors doing sometimes
American
convincing American accents. I say sometimes because some of them are
Okay.
terrible.
I was hoping for Hugh Laurie to do Doctor Strange. Because he does have an incredibly good American accent.
He does. He does do a very good accent as House, but he's already played a doctor, so
Yeah, it's kind of like be playing the same character over again. But of course, Doctor Strange probably isn't an atheist.
depends how they do magic.
Yeah, I don't know. That's the one thing I'm like, I don't know how they're going to make this work. Of course, I didn't know how they were going to make Ant-Man work. So
I guess we're done then?
Yeah, I'm just gonna.
yeah,
Yeah, we've segued off onto other things.
sorry.
That's all right.
Alright.
It's
So-
okay. I just don't want us to keep recording if it's just
Yeah.
gonna be.
That's a good point. I was just sorting some stuff out. So anyway,
That is quite a cool
uh,
team shot, though.
Apart from the fact that
we're going to say goodnight now this evening
my hair appears
to
to
the
be
Hope Ridge Rangers.
Yay.
And their plans for a new beginning at Castle Refuge for themselves and everyone. So we'll say good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.